Here, here. And we are underway, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the special workshop. I'm, of course, David Siteman Garland. This is the Facebook ad strategy that is working right now. Learn it, use it, and I want to introduce to you, of course, the lady that needs no introduction. She's really your teacher, your godfather today, the godmother, if you will. Amy Porterfield in the house. Hello, Amy.
Hello there. I am so excited for this. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Amy, and I gotta tell you this, guys. Amy and I have been having like I don't know, maybe 426 conversations this week to get ready for this stuff, guys. So bottom line here, as we get started, we're gonna make sure that every single thing is covered. We're gonna have plenty of time for questions at the end, right, Amy?
Yes,
Plenty of
yes.
time for questions. And the bottom line here, though, the key that I would say as we get started here is I would eliminate the distractions that you can. I know we all love multitasking and stuff like that. Trust me, I'm super guilty of this. But realize we're going to go through, and Amy's going to go through a lot of tactical, awesome stuff that you can use. So, without being like the stern teacher with the ruler here pointing my finger at you, just picture that is that, whatever you can do to kind of eliminate distractions now and kind of pay attention because, this is what you're all here for and super excited. So, Amy, I'm going to pretty much turn it over to you. You guys will mostly be hearing Amy during this. I might chime in when Amy wants me to bring some insights as well. And I'm going to kind of let her take it from here and welcome, guys, and let's get at it.
All right, let's get going. I want to let you all know that there is a lot of content we're going to cover. We packed this training because you're giving us your time. You paid a fee for this training. We're going to give you everything we've got. But that means that there's a lot to cover. So I'm going to go not too fast, but not too slow, somewhere right in the middle. But the greatest thing ever is you get all of these slides. So if you want to go back and look at something, we have tons of examples, images in here. You get the PDF at the end of this training and you can go back and look at everything. So there is no stress whatsoever. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to create a video page post ad that is designed to attract lucrative leads, to grow your email list, and turn those leads into loyal buyers. Your ad will only be seen by your ideal audience, will be easy to set up, and will cost much less than the traditional Facebook ad. This training will give you every single step you need to make this happen. So that is why I'm so excited. It is the most specific training we've ever done before, and I'm going to give you a bunch of examples so you know exactly what you need to do the minute you get off this training. Now, the strategy is a laser-targeted, lead-generating, newsfeed only video page post ad. Now, the thing is, you see the word video, don't let that trip you up. I know some people aren't totally comfortable with video. You're going to be excited because I'm talking about a 1-minute video. Again, this is a really easy strategy, but not everybody knows every step that's involved, and we're going to break it down for you step by step. So before we get into it, I'm going to actually show you the strategy. I'm going to show you David's strategy, how he used it, and then I'm going to show you mine. Because a lot of you already sent in questions, and one of the #1 questions we got was, can you please just show us what you did? So that is exactly what we're going to do. Most of the examples throughout the entire training are either David or myself. So here you go. David did a page post ad, a video page post ad, and as you can see, he was promoting a free video series. So it says free video series to help you turn what you already know into an online course that sells 24/7. He did this short video where he tells people, hey, sign up for my video series. Here's why you want to sign up. And he made it into an ad. So you're seeing an ad right here. This ad was out in the news feed, not that right side column, but the news feed. And then when you click the link, he took you to an opt-in page. This is an opt-in page, a lead page, whatever you want to call it. You sign up here and you get instant access to his 3-part video series. Once you go through the entire free content heavy value add series, he then takes you to a page where he tells you about his Create Awesome Online Courses program. So this is where he made a video. Hey, you've already watched my 3-part video series. Now let me tell you about the program that takes everything to the next level. That's the exact strategy he used with what we're going to teach you today. Now, David's results, you might have already seen them, but these are really impressive. He added over 300 people a day into his list and funnels. This strategy helped double his entire email list, double. It was David's #1 media buying strategy for his recent launch that did over $200,000 in sales, plus over $50,000 in sales since the launch. And he rarely uses affiliates. This is all of his manpower. It led to over $50,000 in growing in sales of other products as well. Pretty impressive, right? This is the exact strategy we're going to teach you today. Now here's my example as well. This is a video page post ad. I'm hosting a free webinar, How to Build Your Email List with Facebook Marketing, Join Me. And then I link to it, and the video talks for 1 minute about this actual webinar I'm putting on. Then I take them to an opt-in page. Here they sign up for my webinar. And once they sign up for my webinar, a lot of you asked, let me see like the thank you page that you sent them to, and let me see all the details. So I even added the thank you page. And it's really simple. There's no bells and whistles here. Once they sign up for my webinar, I thank them for signing up, and I tell them what's going to happen next. Look for your details for the webinar. Once I do that, the live webinar happens. So this is just a slide from my live free webinar that I delivered once people signed up. And it was live, so I did it over 3 or 4 days. I did different versions of it. Once I did the webinar, I then told them at the end, after I gave them 60 minutes of pure free content, I told them about Facebook Marketing Profit Lab, which is my bigger program I sell quarterly. So I sold them into this program, and that is how I got these results. So this #1 strategy I used it to build my list over 50,000 people in a year. It's well over 60,000 now. It contributed to the 12,000 enrollments on my latest webinar. Now, let's put this into perspective. When I started doing webinars, I couldn't even get to 100 people on a webinar. It took some time and really serious strategy to get there, and that's why I'm so excited to share with you today what we have in store. Also, it produced $110,000 in sales with 1 launch and 0 affiliate support, plus over $90,000 in sales with 2 other online programs I have. So it's worked very well, and here's the greatest thing ever. I continue to use it over and over again. So it also continues to attract 20 new leads a day with a $5 ad budget. So I put this webinar on a replay, and I send ads to it daily. So here's what's really important. This strategy we're teaching you must be created from your Facebook page, not your profile. So that was another question we got asked, and I just want to address it right now. You do need to have a Facebook page. You'll understand more once I get going, but I wanted to clear that up right away. So here's the strategy breakdown, and I'm going to go step by step through each of these steps here. Step 1, you're going to design a giveaway opportunity. Don't worry if you don't have something to give away just yet. I'll give you some ideas. Step 2, you're going to create an opt-in landing page. Step 3, you're going to record a 2-minute or 1-minute video about your giveaway. Step 4, you're going to create an email autoresponder. Step 5, you're going to post a status update on your Facebook page. Step 6, you're going to create a video page post ad inside the Power Editor. Step 7, add conversion tracking pixels to your opt-in page. It sounds a little bit more complicated than it is. It's very easy. Step 8, you're going to identify and target your perfect audience. That's probably my favorite part of this whole training. We're going to get into some targeting tips so you know who to go after on Facebook. Step 9, set up your ad budget. And step 10, monitor your ad analytics. So let's go ahead and get started with step #1, design a giveaway opportunity.
Amy, can I just, sorry, I hate to jump in 1 second. Just give me one quick one here, guys. I don't want to break any flow. But just a couple notes because I'm just seeing a couple stuff coming in here from our live folks. By the way, this entire thing is, of course, being recorded. So not only are you going to get the PDF, you're going to get this entire of course, the recording. You can download it, you can access it. And the way that I learned this from Amy was doing it live, exactly like Amy's doing right now, and then going back over and over again. So don't worry, she's going to break down all the steps, all the good stuff, and we're going to rock out with it. So sorry, Amy, I'll let you get back at it.
Perfect. Glad we clarified that. Definitely you can go over it again and again. So step 1, design a giveaway opportunity. This ad strategy that I'm teaching you today starts with the giveaway. Now, if you need help with a valuable giveaway, I was listening to a podcast, and it kills me because I can't remember which podcast I heard this from, but they made a really great point about figuring out what to give away, like an ebook, a PDF, a free video. And this is what I want you to ask yourself. What does my ideal audience need to understand, be aware of, or believe in order to want or need my product, program, or service? Because after the giveaway, as you saw from the examples with my example and David's example, after we give something of great value, we then promote a product. So what kind of giveaway can you create that will help your audience understand the need for the product you'll eventually promote, or be aware of something about your program, product, or service? So you want to teach that concept in your giveaway. Again, I'm going to give you some examples. But one general example is that if my audience was not already aware of the huge impact Facebook can have on their business, I would not be able to sell any of my training programs. So every time I do a giveaway, I'm teaching people how valuable Facebook actually is. And I'm teaching them strategies so they can get results right away, free strategies, because once they start getting success with my free strategies, they're going to want more. So again, what does my ideal audience need to understand, be aware of, or believe in order to want or need my product, program, or service? Here are some examples for giveaways. You might already have a giveaway, and just kind of use these examples to make sure you have something really valuable. So my favorite is a cheat sheet, a guide, or a checklist. People love checklists. So this is one of my former clients at Buttoned Up on Facebook. She created a giveaway for printables. So these are for busy moms that want to get organized. So you can actually sign up and you can print these out on your own printer to get organized. Great example. She does really well with these. Here's another one of my star students. This is the abs expert. And Scott here, what he does great is he gets you really excited because it's just 21 days without any weird diets or going to the gym. So you sign up, and again, both of these examples are inside Facebook, but your opt-in page does not need to be inside Facebook. I'm going to show you different options there. But here's an example. Just think of the examples. Don't look at the design or anything. Just look at what they're giving away in order to spark some ideas for your giveaway as well. This is Heather Pierce, and I always say that last name wrong. I'm not even going to try. But Heather,
Giannoni.
Giannoni, that's right. I didn't want to say it wrong. So Heather's great. She has a personality test, an eating personality test to be more specific. So if you click on Take the Quiz, you sign up, and then she takes you through a quiz, and then she tells you about your eating behaviors, because eventually she's going to promote her program, Go Feed Yourself. I love the name of that program. But again, she's first making sure they understand the importance of understanding your eating personality. Another giveaway that you've already seen, David does a 3-part video series. One thing I've learned, I study this stuff all the time, and a really smart guy out there told me that when you do 3 or 4 or 5-part video series, you get the opportunity to email people over time. So if they're brand new to your email list, you already have their permission to email them 3, 4, 5 different times to give them the link to the next video. It's a great way to warm that new audience up. Another 5-part video series, James Wedmore, David and I's good friend. And I just want to show you different examples of opt-in pages and what they might look like. So this is what James does and has had amazing success with it. Now, Brendan Burchard does something a little different where he's saying, I'm going to give you this free training video. Now, if you read closer, it looks like he's giving you a few videos, but he's just starting out with, hey, sign up for a free video training. So you could do a one-off, really intense 60-minute free training video if you'd like. Another option is the live webinar. Again, it's still a free training, but I love to do things live. I've noticed that when it's live, people are more likely to take action in the moment, and they're more present, and they don't put it off if it's a recording. So I do a lot of live webinars, but I also do, oh, here's another live webinar. If you don't want to get all fancy like this, I've had great conversions with just a go-to webinar page that I sent people to. So this is another option you can do. But I also do recorded webinars. And recorded webinars are great for Facebook ads, especially the strategy I'm going to teach you today. So you could put your content in a recorded webinar. You know, the more you can do on autopilot, the more freedom you have in your business. So this is another option for a free giveaway. Now, to give you a cool tip right off the bat, we have a few cool tips in here. Some are free, some are paid. This one is Evergreen Business Systems. And this is the system I use now. I used to use another one a while back, but I found this to be even better. Automated Webinar Generator. And it's at amyporterfield.com/webinar tool. You do not need to buy this in order to have sex. Whoa, it sounded a little
That
like I
just
was going down
happened.
the wrong road.
That
Wow.
just happened.
I wanted to make sure you were all paying attention. Now I got your attention.
Success, whatever. You know what I
Same
mean?
thing, same thing. So you do not need to buy things in order to make this strategy work. Dave and I want to be very clear with that. This is not a big pitch fest today. However, if you're curious about recorded webinars, they've been a huge part of my business. This is the tool I use, so I just wanted to throw it out there. And so that's why I could build it on Facebook. I have this great opt-in page, and this is the tool I use. So there's a few other tools in here I think you're going to love.
Amy, real quick, just a quick little note here. Is just as everyone's having some great comments. By the way, they love the sex comment. They said that costs more than 147. That is very true. But let me note here on something real fast here. Just I want to put a bow on that. Is that the bottom line here is not to be obsessed over the format of the giveaway, or do you going to do a recorded webinar? Are you going to do this, do that? The bottom line to take away from that and those examples, and remember when we had kind of the page for this, we said, listen, you guys have an opt-in or giveaway. The bottom line is that all the Facebook ads traffic that you're going to drive, that that Amy's going to be teaching you guys here in a second, it all goes to that free giveaway. That's the thing that's the most important. So it doesn't matter exactly what it is. We went through all the examples. The key important thing here is that when we're driving this Facebook ads traffic, we're not sending them to a sales page. We're not sending them to a random page. They're going to your free giveaway, whatever your free giveaway might be. Doesn't matter what it is.
Okay, perfect. So these are all the opt-in pages. And again, this is why we want to give you the PDF of the slides so you can go back and see all of these different examples to run through. So, okay, so now that you have your giveaway, you're going to figure out what your giveaway should be. This next step, step 2, is to create an opt-in page for your giveaway. So once your giveaway is ready, now it's time to jump into that opt-in page. And the goal here, of course, is to collect names and emails. Your opt-in page must convert. That's why I want to talk about this just a little bit more, because a really bad opt-in page is going to make sure that those ads never actually convert for you. And that's the last thing I want. So I want you to use some of the examples in this training that I just went over to help you create a well-designed opt-in opportunity. But here's something really cool. For those of you who already have a giveaway, which I know a bunch of you already do, and you probably have a opt-in page on your website somewhere, or some web page outside of Facebook. Well, a lot of you will want to bring it inside of Facebook, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But again, I'm just going to bring up David a lot because this is such a well-designed opt-in page. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're collecting names and emails on a page after they click your ad. So again, you've got the option to go Facebook custom app. So when you go to your Facebook page, there's all those little apps there, and you can click on one and you've got this opt-in page inside your Facebook page, or you can go with an external opt-in page. I wanted to give you some pros and cons. If you went with the Facebook custom app, you're keeping your fans inside of Facebook. And when you're asking for the name and email, that typically helps you convert better, because there's been some studies out there that show that people are more trusting if they've never been to your web page or website and they click on your ad and they're brand new to you. If you keep them inside of Facebook, for some reason they have a little bit more sense of trust. Kind of weird, I know, but it's true. Also, they work really well with Facebook ads. Going from a Facebook ad to a custom app, there's times that I've seen it be really less expensive to do so. Not always, but I have seen a difference at times. Now, an external opt-in page, this is the second option. It's often easier and faster because you can just throw up an opt-in page and you don't have to worry about getting it inside of Facebook. Also, you likely can get away with a few more things because you've got to work inside the confines of Facebook when you want to get that app inside there. So I'll tell you that external is probably easier, but I tend to test both with any offer I have going out there just to make sure I'm doing the right strategy for my brand. So there's your pros and cons. But if you already have if you already have an opt-in page and you want to bring it inside of Facebook, I want to give you a free resource that I use. So here we are on my Facebook page. And see where it says webinar right there? So you've got the first row and the second row. In the second row it says webinar. If you click on that, that's a Facebook custom app on my Facebook page. If you click on that, it takes you to a custom app with what you've already seen before, which is the Facebook Ads That Convert recorded webinar I use. And so this is inside of Facebook. Well, it hasn't always lived inside of Facebook. It's actually on a web page outside of Facebook. And with a free tool, I pulled it inside of Facebook, and it took probably 2 minutes. So let me just briefly show you how. And again, you can come back to this training to go over these steps if you want to try it out. So the tool is called Thunderpenny. If it's hard to find, again, it's a completely free tool. But if you go to amyporterfield.com/Thunderpenny, it will take you right there, because sometimes my clients have a hard time finding it inside of Facebook. So Thunderpenny is the free tool. You click on Go to App. And again, this is kind of the step-by-step stuff we promised you. You click on Go to the app, and you'll see something that looks like this. Now, if you scroll down, you'll get to the website box. And this is where you want to click on Use This App. I've already clicked on it, so then it will say you are using this app. So you click on Use This App inside the website box, and it will take you to a page that looks like this. Now, see where it says URL of external page? You're just going to paste the URL of the web page you have living outside of Facebook. So you're just going to paste it right in there. And you can actually adjust the width and the height of your page to make sure it fits. That's probably my favorite feature of this tool. So you can make sure it fits perfectly inside that custom app. You don't have to change anything on your existing opt-in page outside of Facebook. And once you do that, it's going to live, let me show you, it's going to live just like this inside of Facebook. Pretty cool, right? It is that simple. So it's the tool I use in order to get this opt-in page on my Facebook page. It's called Thunderpenny, and it's free. Now, a lot of you, though, struggle to create opt-in pages. And so one of the tools that David and I constantly use, you've likely been on one of our opt-in pages where we've used this tool, and that is lead pages. And there is a link to learn more about lead pages, therisetofthetop.com/lead pages. And the coolest thing about this is that all of their opt-in pages are literally, you type in the information, maybe upload an image, and you're good to go. They're tested, they convert, I use them every single day. And they have an option where you click a button and you can pull them into a Facebook custom app. Yeah, you heard me right. Are you going crazy right now? Because I kind of went crazy when I learned about this tool.
Shaboom.
So it's amazing. So lead pages will allow you to create any custom app you want. You're going to be amazed how many options they have. But if you're struggling with, hey, I've got this great giveaway offer, but I don't know how to create the page that gets the name and email, this is the tool we use. So just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, so what have we done so far? We first make sure we have some kind of giveaway offer. The second is we make sure we create an opt-in page so people can give us their name and email in exchange for that free giveaway. Step 3, you're going to record a 2-minute video about your giveaway. In the beginning I said 1 minute. I'm kind of torn between 1 or 2. You do what feels right for you. But you're going to record a video, but it's not about your product, program, or service. It's about your giveaway. So we all know that video converts, but video on Facebook, it takes things to an entirely new level. And the greatest thing about that is it creates this instant connection. People feel like they know you more. And especially inside Facebook, videos are the #2 media that is watched or clicked on the most. First images, then video. So video converts on Facebook. Now, when you're asking for people's name and email, the better connection you have, the more likely you are to get that name and email. And the greatest thing ever is few people, really, if we look at the whole scheme of things, with over 1 billion people on Facebook, very few are using video to get the name and email. So that's why you want to use it to stand out. So we have these 2 videos. When you are given access to get the recording and the PDF, we're also going to put our 2 videos inside your little members area. And you can play them and watch how we do these videos. Because we know that at least David and I learn best when we actually can see it in action. So that's what we wanted this training to be all about for you. We want you to see it, feel it, touch it, whatever you want to do so you really, really get it. And that's what we've done for you. So make sure to go in there when you get your access and play the videos just to kind of see what we talk about and what these videos actually do. And what they're doing is they're converting clicks into leads. So I have a 4-part giveaway video script for you. If you follow this script, it's really simple. You're going to be able to make that video that will help you convert the clicks on your ads into actual leads. So the point 1, I call it hi, hey, hello. And you're going to instantly create a personal connection with your viewers by introducing yourself. But the way I like to do it first is start out with a quick question or thought-provoking statement or something that will grab their attention. So one of my best converting videos says, I've got a question for you. Now that we're into the second part of 2000, at the time it was 2012, how are you doing on your revenue goals? And so right away, I grabbed him with a question and something that's kind of like, oh, I don't know, I'm not doing so great. So I'm going to create a little angst with them. So a quick question or thought-provoking statement works really well. Your goal, though, is to transition into the purpose of the video quickly. Now notice what's not in here. What's not in here is, hi, I'm Amy Porterfield. Now I'm the author of this. These are my products. This is what I've done. This is why I'm a big shot. None of that. I just get right to the point. That's how we keep it really short, and we keep it about them, not about us. So point number 2, what's cooking? You want to grab your viewers' attention by letting them know instantly about your must-have opt-in opportunity. Now, it doesn't need to be a video or a webinar. It could be an ebook. It can be your checklist or your cheat sheet. You're just going to let them know what you've got for them. Now, think about infusing some storytelling techniques into your video to sustain your viewers' attention and lead them through the video. So that's where asking questions or teasing them a little bit, I'm going to show you something you've never seen before kind of stuff. It works because you want to keep that attention. Even though it's a short video, people have a very short attention span. So point number 3, what's in it for them? Here is where you get to the meat of things. You're going to list 3 to 5 reasons why they do not want to miss out. Get very specific here and show your excitement and passion to keep them engaged throughout the video. So really, I've done videos before where I've looked back and thought, I have no energy whatsoever in that video. And it just happens, to everybody. But make sure you're excited about it. You show them how much value is going to be in that video or in that giveaway that you've made for them. And then point 4, what needs to happen next? End your video with a very clear call to action to sign up, and never give them multiple things to do at the end of your video. Focus on just one thing. So you're not going to say, because it's on Facebook, you're not going to say, make sure you like this post or like my page and then sign up for my free giveaway. None of that. All you want to say is click the link. I'll see you there on the webinar. Or click the link and I'll send you instant access to whatever it is. Get very clear. One mistake I've made many times is you want to stay away from click the link below or click the link to the right of this video, because you're going to use it in a few different places. You are definitely going to upload this video to Facebook, but you can also use the exact same video on YouTube or Google Plus or Twitter or wherever you want to put this video. So don't tell them where that link is, because it really screws you up when you start playing it on other social platforms. So there you go. There's 4 points to make this video. And just to kind of round it up, you're going to say hi, hey, hello. You're going to tell them what's cooking. You're going to tell them what's in it for them. And then point 4, what needs to happen next. Now you have your 1 or 2 minute video for your giveaway.
Amy, real quick too, also something that I found to be pretty valuable. I don't like to, and correct me if I'm wrong from your perspective on this too, I don't like to say what the actual URL is in the video, right? Do you agree with that?
I totally agree. Yeah,
right, guys? So you don't have to say like, hey, click it or go to, mysite.com/free giveaway. Because here's the thing. Your link could change. You might be able to change up the offer. You might want to split test pages. You might want to do other stuff. So always say click the link. Like, don't say what the actual link is, because what's cool, and Amy, I'm sure you're going to show this later, is what's really cool about doing the videos on Facebook is you can go in and edit them really quickly. You can edit all the text. You can edit the links. You can change them on a dime, unlike other types of stuff on Facebook. So, that's kind of a little tip there.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was another mistake I made early on, was giving the URL, and then now, months later, I'm sending them to the total wrong place. So no mention of URL, great point. Now, a lot of you don't love video. I mean, to give you the honest truth, I don't necessarily love making videos. Tomorrow, my video guy's coming over to my house, and I have to admit I'm dreading it just a little bit. David's a pro. He's so natural on video, but it's not my first, big skill set I have. So I thought I'd make a quick cheat sheet for you. We're just going to go through a few quick points to help you with this social video, because social videos are very different than videos we put into our training programs or any videos that we use in paid programs. Social videos are those quick videos that you need to get people to take action right away. So the first thing is to go pro when you ask for a name and email. Now that does not mean slap down $1,000 and have tons of lighting and 3-shoot camera and all that good stuff. I just mean make sure your video is not shaky. Make sure that the background's not too busy. Make sure the lighting is good enough that people can clearly see your face. And make sure the audio, this is really important, the audio is crisp. Because today, your name and email is a hot commodity. People aren't just giving it up quickly like that. So the better your video is, the more likely you are to get the name and email. Also, with scripts, this is something I do all the time and I've been working on all week for my video shoot tomorrow. I write an outline, or actually the actual script, a few days in advance. And then I prepare. So for the next few days, I will actually read that script over and over and over again. I don't memorize it, but I get really comfortable with it. So if it's a script that I'm actually going to encourage people to sign up for something, it might be 2 pages, really big font, and I just keep reading it and reading it. This helps me relax more on camera. And step number 4 is video length. Keep it short and to the point. I really believe that 1 minute is ideal, no more than 2 minutes, which is a great thing because it makes it easier for you. Oops, I keep thinking I have a 5. So here are just basically quick tips for you to help you make a really good social video for your page post ad. Oh, I do. I knew I had a 5 and 6. I'm going crazy. So 5 is video content. I want you to answer this question. What's in it for them? If you want to keep their attention, make it fun. David is the master of being goofy on camera and people loving everything he does. So definitely take a cue from David's videos. But entertain if you can. Smile. This is going to sound crazy, but a lot of videos I watch, people just are not smiling. And when you smile, you're going to relax a little bit more. So though even more important, ask yourself what's in it for them and make sure you communicate that. And then lastly, you're going to upload this video to Facebook, but you're also going to use it on all social platforms. So take advantage of that, because don't waste a good video on just Facebook. All right, we're going into step 4. Now step 4 is to create an email autoresponder. And I know that some of you are cringing right now, because one of the top questions I get also when it comes to online marketing is I don't understand how to use email to actually move my clients or move my leads to customers.
Not this group. Not this group, Amy. This group is the
good.
smart group. We are here for advanced training. Boom goes the dynamite.
Okay, I love it. I love that. I'm gonna take that.
Boom.
And done. Okay, so here's the great thing. You all are going to master this area. Step number 4, it's not a big deal, but you do need to have an email autoresponder. So again, I just like to go through the steps so you really, really get them into your system. Step number 1, you've got your giveaway. Number 2, your opt-in page. Number 3, you're going to make your video. And now that you have your giveaway and your opt-in page, when people give you their name and email, you need to then send them a series of emails once they sign up. So once you've created your giveaway offer and you designed your opt-in page, it's time to create an email autoresponder. An email autoresponder campaign is a specific number of automated pre-written emails that get sent to your subscribers in a specific order over a specified period of time. Most of you know that, but I just wanted to throw it out there. So the great news is once you've written these emails, you don't have to scramble to send emails out, when you're busy doing other things. Once you write these emails, they go on autopilot. Now it's all about automation and adding value. So just to be really clear, what David does is people sign up for his 3-part video series. He sends them an instant email to get things going, and then they get emails every few days in order to get video 1, video 2, and video 3. And then I think how it goes is maybe video 4 or 5 is, hey, come check out this great opportunity I have for you.
Yeah, ours is 1, 2, and 3 are the videos, and then video 4 is kind of the sales video. And real quick here, Amy, just I'm looking at some of the comments here from folks that are joining us live here. Is, guys, what's super important about this stuff, because I know, like, because of where we're at in this training, and it's a little bit of an advanced training, that, we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty of Facebook ads coming up. But here's the thing. I know a lot of you guys know how to create videos. I know a lot of you guys know how to do autoresponder, all these different things and giveaways and stuff like that. But if you skip the foundation of all this kind of stuff, then the entire ad strategy doesn't work, if that makes sense. So meaning this might be stuff that you kind of glance over and say, oh my God, I know this. I know this kind of stuff, but realize these steps go completely together to get the end result. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty of Facebook, if that makes sense.
Okay, good. We're almost there. So for those of you a little bit more advanced, hang on, because you're going to love what's coming up next. So you've got your email autoresponder. You write your emails, you get them ready, because that's going to be a big part of making this ad strategy work. And I love this quote from Pat Flynn of Smart Passive Income. It says, the autoresponder series is one of the best tools for generating a passive income, even on a blog, because if set up properly, all you need to do is generate more leads, and your pre-written emails will take care of the rest. Here's the great thing about this ad strategy. It's all about getting more leads. So step number 5 is all about the Facebook ad. So here we go. Now that we've got our foundation set, we're going to dive in even deeper. Step 5, post a status update on your Facebook page. So what you want to do is you want to create a short, to the point Facebook post that includes a strong call to action to check out your free giveaway. You're going to create this post with the intention of turning it into a page post ad. And you want to get creative with your post copy, make it interesting, tease your audience a little, or create some curiosity as well. So you're going to post on your Facebook page, and you're going to upload your video to that post. So I've got some examples for you. And then, of course, you're going to send traffic to your opt-in page inside or outside of Facebook. So somewhere in that post, you've got to have a link where you're sending your traffic. So here's David's, how to turn what you already know into an online course. You've seen this before. He's got the video. He's got really short, to the point. You notice there's a little space in between the 2 points he's got there. That is always a good little trick to allow some breathing room. And then he's got his link. I show this to you because the way you set up your status update, this is going to turn into your ad. You cannot edit your ad, your page post ad. This is where it's coming from. So take a little time to make sure the copy is good here and it's exactly what you want to say. Here's mine. Are you ready to make list building a #1 priority? And again, you've seen this, how it's done. So these are status updates. If you literally go to our Facebook page, scroll down a bunch, you would see these on our page. So step 6 is to create a video page post ad inside the Power Editor. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Power Editor is a Facebook ads dashboard that offers more features than the traditional ads dashboard. For those of you who do use it, you know it's clunky, not user-friendly, and glitchy at times. There's nothing we can really do about that. It's still worth using, so even beyond the clunkiness. So we use it because the Power Editor allows you to choose the placement of your ad. You get to choose exactly where that ad appears, the right column or the newsfeed or both. So here's how you get started. If you go into your traditional ads dashboard, you'll see in the left column it says Power Editor. You click on that, and right when you get into the Power Editor, you're going to do this. You're going to click Download, then you're going to click on Campaign, and I'll show this to you. Then you're going to click on Add, then you're going to click on Create Ad. You do need to follow these steps in order to get things going inside the Power Editor. And then you are off to the races. So here's the deal. Before, I'm actually going to back up a little. This might sound a little strange, but I'm going to back up because I want to make sure you can track your success with this ad strategy, because David and I want to hear about some pretty big successes from you. So we've got to track to make sure your ads are converting. Another question I got asked a bunch when you all send in some questions was, how do I know that my ad's actually going to be working for me? Facebook recently, in the last few months, created the conversion tracking pixel. So inside your ads dashboard or your Power Editor, you're going to see something that says conversion tracking. And what you're going to do is you're going to place a little bit of pixel on your opt-in page. And once you place that pixel on your opt-in page, you're going to know when someone clicks the ad and actually opts in, you're going to know if that conversion is happening. Or let's just say you were using another strategy and you're sending someone directly to a sales page, you'll know if someone clicks the ad and they actually buy. Pretty cool, right? This has been a long time coming. Facebook has needed this for a while. So all you need to do is click on Create Conversion Pixel, and you get this pop-up box. And you're going to decide, well, what do I want to track? So for me, I always track registrations or leads. They're basically the same thing. So you can either choose one or the other. And so once you choose, let's say leads, what happens is it just pops up some pixel code for you. So, or some pixel. So what you do is that it says right here, you copy the code below and paste it in between the head and head in the web page where you want to track conversions. So the great thing here is that it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 steps and you're good to go. And then all you need to do is actually, once you add the pixels, actually go away from the page and come back to it. So you actually hit the page with your web browser and it will activate for you. And so what happens is you'll know if it's working because it will say active or unverified or inactive. So you want to make sure you set it up properly. And I am so not a techie kind of person, and I did this within minutes and I got the active. So it's not a big deal. But this is something that most people are not doing with their ads. They're not actually tracking to make sure that they're actually getting leads. Later on in the training, I'm going to talk to you about how to make sure those leads are actually tracked to see if they're becoming buyers. So we're going to take another step later on in the training to make sure you know that the leads will become buyers. So this is how you add your tracking pixel. Okay, so now that you've added your tracking pixel, so we can now, once we set up the ad, we know if it's converting, you're going to create a campaign inside of the Power Editor. So right now, we are inside of the Power Editor. And all you need to do here is you need to click on campaigns. So I kind of highlighted it for you. And once you click on campaigns inside the Power Editor, you're going to name your campaign. So I just said video, page post, ad example. And then you're going to choose a budget. Let's say $50 a day. We'll talk budget a little bit later. And then you can choose a start and end date or just run it continuously. Something new that the Power Editor has added are labels. So if you want, you can add a label and then it will appear so you can easily find these campaigns in the left column. So take the extra step, add a label so that you can easily find them. And then once you do that, this is the weird thing about Power Editor. There's no save button. You just kind of go to the next step. That's where people get a little bit nervous about using it. So in this case, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on Ads. So when you click on Ads, then you're going to click on Create Ad. So you go from campaigns to ads to create ad. And once you do that, here we are inside of the major part of the Power Editor. So this is what it looks like, but it's kind of hard to see. Where we're going to focus on is just to make sure that we're in the Creative and Placements tab, you see there on the left, and then also what you'll see throughout the time that you're creating the ad, you'll see in the right column the example of your ad, so you know that you've pulled in the right one. So those are two things I just want to pay attention to, but really I want to pay attention now to the middle section. So let's focus there. Let's work our way from top to bottom. So from top, we're going to add an ad name. This is just for internal purposes. So now that we've put our ad into a campaign, now we're going to add the name of our ad and the type of ad. Your ad will be a video ad because you've uploaded a video to your Facebook page. And the great thing is when you choose video ad, you only have one option for a Facebook page using a video page post. So you're good to go, really simple. The destination is your Facebook page, and the page post, you're going to get a drop down. And in that drop down, the only thing you'll see are all the videos that you've posted on your Facebook page in the last like 28 days. So for me, it was only like 2, so it was really easy to find the one I wanted. And then from there, I've already have you set up the conversion tracking. So you're going to click yes, you're going to click that little button there, and then you're going to get the option, like which conversion tracking tool do you want to implement for this ad? And we're going to choose the one I showed you, FB List Building Webinar Registration, because it's active. So simple as that. That's why I wanted to kind of back up and throw the conversion tracking tool in there because it shows up right at the beginning when you're setting up your ad. Okay, Now, here is the magic. If you're not paying attention now, this is where you're going to miss the good stuff. The magic of the Power Editor is placement. And placement is not found in the traditional ads dashboard. You cannot do this in the traditional ads dashboard. This area is saying, where do you want us to place your ad? And you could do all of Facebook, so the right-hand column and the news feed, or you could just do desktop, so that right-hand column and news feed on desktop only, meaning nobody on a mobile phone will see it. Or you can do news feed, desktop, and mobile, and then you see the other options. The one we always choose is news feed, desktop, and mobile. The reason why this is so powerful is because the average click-through rate of a right-hand column ad is 0.04%. That's the click-through rate of a right-hand column ad. The ads in the newsfeed, we're seeing 2%, 3%, as high as 6%. Remember, I'm talking 0.04% versus 2, 3, 4% on a newsfeed ad. I'm going to get into why that's so powerful, but I just want to really hit home the importance of choosing the placement in the Power Editor. And then if for some reason you want to choose which device, you can do Android or you can do iOS. You can actually choose which type of mobile device you want to see your ad, but I always just choose all mobile devices. So there you have it. This is how you set up the first part of your page post ad. Now again, I just want to show this to you when you come back to these slides. This is that area you want to pay close attention to. Now 8. This is the big stuff. This is the stuff that I think if you walk away from this training, you're going to learn really important strategies that you can use over and over again. And that is to identify and target your perfect audience inside of Facebook. So one of the most powerful features of Facebook ads is the ability to reach your perfect audience with each ad. There are 3 features that will ensure your ad gets seen by people that genuinely care about what you're promoting and selling. These are the 3 features I'm going to dive into right now to make sure you understand how to use each. The first, precise interest. Second, custom audiences. Third, lookalike audiences. Okay, so inside the Power Editor, you're going to look for the next tab and you're just going to click on it. It's called Audience. And inside of Audience, you're going to be able to choose country, age, and gender. That's normal stuff. But the precise interest, that's where I want you to really pay attention. Precise interest. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with precise interest, some of you are, so just hang with me here because I've got some other tricks up my sleeve for you here. But for those of you who are not familiar, I like to use the example of Whole Foods and Sprouts. These are 2 health food markets in Carlsbad where I live. Whole Foods is a lot more popular, but Sprouts is a leading contender. If I were Sprouts Market on Facebook and I was doing a sale, and I wanted to target, or I was doing a sale for $25 off an order of $100 or more, and I wanted to target anybody that would be interested in shopping in our store, what I could do is I could use precise interest. I could type in Whole Foods San Diego or Whole Foods Carlsbad or wherever, and that would mean that my ad would be shown to all of the fans of the Whole Foods Market Facebook page. So just want to make sure that makes sense. You can target other Facebook pages so that their fans will see your ad in their news feed. Pretty cool, right? This is a strategy that David and I use over and over again to get those results we showed you early on. So let's kind of look at this inside the Power Editor.
Hey, Amy, sorry, not to interrupt here, but just I'm saying, let's not lose that point there. That's such an important point, guys, that what we're doing here is through this ad that in this series kind of that we're going to show you how to do here, that you're going to be laser targeting down to fan pages of people that would be interested in your free series and your products. You know, other fan pages on Facebook. We're going to be, and not only that, like Amy said, they're going to see it in the news feed, not just on the right side. There's no right side or anything like that. They're going to see it in their news feed of people, of fans of other pages, which is incredible.
Yes, so that's where I get really excited. That's when I started to see my leads rolling in like crazy, when I figured out which Facebook pages I should be targeting with my ads. Now, a few things I want you to pay attention to. First is that you've got to be really clear about the pages you're targeting. So see where it says Anthony Robbins, and then it says estimated reach 360,000 people. So here's the deal. If you do not know the exact name of the Facebook page, you could really screw yourself up. Meaning, if I typed in Tony Robbins, I get 26,000 people. There's another page that's not his official page that only has 26,000 people, and it's not even his real page. So make sure you're choosing the right page, and the key indicator is looking at the estimated reach. Now, Tony has more than 360,000 fans, but notice I have only these countries at the top, and I have an age limit as well. So that's why I'm not going to get all of his fans. I just want the fans that fall into those countries at that age. Now you can put in multiple Facebook pages here. So they actually suggest some other pages that I might want to try. So doing your research, and what I would do is I'd create a list. I'd actually create a list maybe on your computer of the pages that you think are going to be the most profitable for you. Let me give you some tips that I've used in the past. So when I did my list building webinar, I targeted Aweber, Infusionsoft, Office Autopilot, MailChimp. Those are 4 pages that they're not my competitors. They do something wildly different than I do in business. However, if you have an email service provider, you're going to want to know how to grow your list. So think a little bit beyond just your competitors. Think of those people who have an audience that would be interested in what you're selling, ultimately what you're selling. So you've got to think about your giveaway and your product and make sure they're aligned with this ideal audience. So this is the only feature I use for targeting beyond country, age, and gender is precise interests. Now, like I said, there's some challenges with Power Editor and specifically precise interest. First, like I said, make sure you have the correct page, but also not all pages will pop up for you. I have a good friend, and he's also a partner of one of my programs, Lewis Howes. And the biggest joke we have between us is I can never target his fans. For some reason, and he did not do anything special, for some reason when I type in Lewis Howes in precise interest, it does not pop up. The page has to pop up so you can select it. I talked to someone on the inside of Facebook about this, and they said it's just a Facebook glitch. Some pages just will not pop up for you. So don't get frustrated. You're not doing anything wrong. Just go back to the drawing board, do a little bit of research, and find other pages that would be a good fit for you. Now, just keep trying till you find that right mix, because you will find it. But I've got a really, really cool tool for you, or cool tip, really. Okay, so most of you have graph search on your Facebook page now, or on your Facebook account. If you don't, it's rolling out slowly, but most of you probably have it. And to know if you have it, basically you have the big white bar across the top where you could type in anything you want there to do a really thorough search on Facebook. But if you type in pages liked by people who like, and then the name of your Facebook page, okay? Pages liked by people who like, in my case, Amy Porterfield. When I do that, I get this list. And these are people that, just to be really clear, they like my page, and they also like Mari Smith, Tony Robbins, Morgana Ray, who I have
We have
idea
no clue who Morgana Ray is. I'm sure
No.
she's a lovely woman. We have no idea who she is, and why is she standing in a lake? We do not know any of these things, but we do know that a lot of we do know that a lot of her people also like Amy Porterfield. So
Exactly, so bizarre. But what if she is a great page that I should be targeting? I would have never known. And then, quite honestly, I don't target Tim Ferriss or Frank Kern's page. At least I didn't till I did this little trick. So what this tells me is that I have fans that already like these pages, but there's a lot of people on these pages that are not yet my fans and don't yet know about me. But there's definitely a synergy there, and this little graph search tip shows me that. And there's more, I just couldn't fit them all in here. So do this search, because it will really shed some light on who you could possibly start out with targeting in precise interest in order to make sure you hit the right audience. Now, a lot of you told me in your questions that you feel like when you post something in the news feed and you target other Facebook pages, you get a lot of spam complaints. And we'll address that at the end here, but I do want to say that one reason why if you get a lot of spam, like people write, hey, like, why are you in my news feed? Get out of here, stop promoting. If you get a lot of that, you're just not targeting the right way. You've got to really hone in your targeting even more. Like, you could target Mari Smith, but also hashtag Facebook marketing. Like, you can get even more targeted. So if you get an abundance of spam, it's because you need to hone in on your targeting.
Amy, can I make one quick note here too?
Yeah,
Just because I'm looking at comments too. You might be addressing this later, but I just want to, maybe we could bring it up now too. When you are creating an ad, okay, and as you guys noticed, as you add more pages on to that original slide that we were talking about, where you add the different pages into your ad. We'll go back here. See that right where she's got that there in that red box, right? And you see on the right side where it says estimated reach. Amy, I think you might be talking about this later, but maybe I can mention it now. We've noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the reach you want to get to, you know what I mean? Like add in pages, keep adding stuff in there, multiple precise interests until you get somewhere between 250,000 and 500,000. Is that a safe number?
it is. It's perfect. When you go below or above, below, you're just not going to have a big enough reach. Above, you get lost in the mix. So we found that to be our sweet spot.
Yeah. So so for example, when I was creating, ads for the Create Awesome Online Courses free video series, what I did was I went in, I chose a few countries. I did an 18 to, 60 plus range. I did both genders, and then I would just type in different precise interests. I type in like Marie Forleo and Allie Brown and Amy Porterfield, who's my favorite person to steal fans from. I like to pillage Amy's fans on a daily basis. And so you type in those things until the estimated reach on the right side got between 250,000 and 500,000, and then it was go time. Then it was like, okay, great, that's plenty for this ad, and you move on from there. So that's a very specific kind of tip. And because I don't want you guys to think you should, what numbers you should have here as you get to this point, for sure.
Good, definitely. Glad you brought that up. And okay, so one thing you might be thinking is, okay, well, what if I want to keep going and that number keeps going up and up? I don't want to exclude others. So what I do is I'll run the exact same page post ad, but I'll have maybe 3 different ads. So one might be the email marketing companies. The other might be the self-help gurus. The other might be the online marketers like David. Oh, David's another page that doesn't pop up. I forgot about that, David. Thanks a bunch. You can get mine, but I can't get
Screw
his.
all you guys. I have no idea why it doesn't. I have no idea why it doesn't show up, by the way.
So basically, I'll just do kind of like themes for my different ads, but it's the exact same ad. It's just going out to different groups. Now, you want to be careful. You don't want to do like 20 of those because there will be overlap. Someone that likes Tony Robbins' page probably might like mine as well. So now they might see your ad a little bit more. But I will tell you this. Facebook takes very great precautions to make sure that you're not in someone's newsfeed every single minute. I'm going to show you in the analytics section, step number 10, about how to make sure people aren't seeing your ad too much. So we'll get there for sure. Okay, so we went over some of the challenges. Just keep kind of working with your list. But one thing I didn't do early on was make that list. I wish I would have typed out all of those pages that I thought were really valuable. So I've done that now, and it helps me every time I go back to the ad. Okay, so you know about precise interest. You got to use it. Do not ever, ever run a page post ad without at least putting something into that precise interest area. Now, the next option you can do is custom audiences. Now, for those of you who already have an email list, this is really valuable. What you can do is you can actually upload an email list, your full email list, a portion of it, segmented part of it, whatever you want, and then you can run your ad to only and those people. What Facebook does is they get the list and they comb through it, and anybody who uses one of those email lists on Facebook, then you can market to them. As long as that email list is identified somewhere on Facebook, like someone's using it to log in, then you can market that group. So what I've done is used this in different ways. One, I've uploaded, let's say, all the buyers of one of my programs, FB Influence. I've uploaded the buyer list, and then to them, I marketed a free giveaway that was kind of more advanced than Facebook 101 because they were ready for the next step. I've also ran webinars where I have a list, let's say, of the 12,000 people that signed up for my webinars. I uploaded that list, and then I only sent them a page post ad that says, here's your replay. It's only up for 24 hours. Check it out. So in their news feed, it said, thanks so much for attending my webinar. Here's the replay I promised you. And they could click on it. Pretty cool, right? So you can get really specific with how you use custom audiences. Facebook will never, ever use that list for anything else. And as long as people have opted into your list, you're good to go and you can use it. As you can see, you can also use phone numbers if you'd like, but I've just only used emails and it's worked really well. Now, here's what's cool. Whether you have a big list, a zero list, no list at all, or a small list, you can use custom audiences. Because here's what's even cooler. If you upload a list, you can then, then you can then use lookalike audiences. This is an extension of custom audiences. So what you do is, let's say you've already uploaded a list of 500 people, and they're your best buyers. Now you can tell Facebook, create a similar audience, like the one I just uploaded. Give me a similar audience. And they will create an audience that has the interest, the activity, the behaviors of your 500 best buyers. And the great thing is, this similar list is a lot bigger than the list you've uploaded. So now you have a really targeted, well thought out list to market to with your Facebook ads. I can't stress enough how important it is to target as specifically as you can, because that can ensure that you have a really solid lead list, and those leads turn into customers. So to make sure everyone understands, you upload your list, and you can use that list and target to it, or you can also say, hey Facebook, create a similar list for me and let me target to them as well. Pretty cool, right? Now if Facebook comes back with like a list of 1 million people or something, you can take that list and then also plug in precise interest. So if Facebook came back with a list of 1 million people that closely match that really good buyer list I had, I don't want to market to 1 million people. So when I'm marketing to that lookalike audience, I can also add in precise interest. They also have to have liked Tony Robbins' Facebook page and Tim Ferriss's Facebook page. So I'm getting even more specific. Pretty cool, right? So those are 3 ways that you can actually use these features to make sure you're targeting smart. Now this is what you'll see. Once you do the lookalike audience, basically you tell them what you want, either similarity, or if you want an even greater reach, you can do that. I would just stick with similarity at first. And then usually within 24 hours, you've got your lookalike audience, and it's free. So to wrap up this section here, this step, this targeting step, and the idea of creating a page post ad, this is what David's page post ad looks like, and this is what mine. You've already seen these, but I want to keep coming back to make sure you really understand the strategy. So one thing I do want to point out, see where this one says free webinar, how to build your email list? Well, I showed you a different one. You probably didn't notice, but it didn't say free webinar, and some of my examples will say webinar today. It's the exact same ad, but when you upload an image or a video, you can actually, as an admin of that page, click on the video, and it will take you to a page where you can edit the text of your page post. Not your ad, but the text of your status update. But when you change your status update, guess what happens? Your ad changes automatically as well. Never have we been able to change a status update, right? Unless it's an image or a video. So just to be clear, and maybe when we get in the Q&A, I can jump on Facebook and show you that you click on your video, not to play it, but you actually click on the video. It takes you to an edit page, and it will allow you to edit the header and the text of that page post status update.
Yeah, Amy, we could definitely, in the Q&A for sure. Let's definitely hop on Facebook and let's show an example,
Okay, great.
Like we'll cut out of here because, guys, basically we're saying we'll show us at the end. I mean, I think we should do when we do a Q&A anyway, why don't we do a couple, we'll whip out the power editor and the thing, and we'll just show a couple things. But yeah, so you guys understand that, right? Like if I post a status update and I say, everyone who is attending this workshop is awesome, okay? I can't go in there and edit that, right? Like later on, like I can't change it later and be like, everyone that is attending this workshop sucks. Right? I can't do it. I can't go in there and edit that, right? But if you do a video, this is again another reason why the video is so important here. When you do this video, I can then click edit and change it to, hey guys, free video series, blah, 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 blah. I can change the headline and say, hey, free video series is coming down tomorrow. Hey, get the first 3 videos right now. I can say anything I want in there, edit it, and your ad will automatically update with that edit. So you don't have to do another ad. You don't have to do any shenanigans. You can change it over time. And, that's the coolest thing. And we can definitely demo that for sure. That's a simple demo later. Absolutely.
Yeah, when I do live webinars, it works really well. Like 24 hours to a live webinar today, it just really works. So we'll show you how to do that. Okay, step number 9. This one is a biggie. Based on the feedback we got from all of you, you want to talk budget. And I'm going to talk to you about it now. And there's some questions that came up that I'm going to address in the Q&A about budget as well. So just hang in there for sure. But here's what we do inside the Power Editor. Pricing and status. See where it says pricing and status? We're just working our way down the tabs inside the Power Editor. David and I always choose CPC, cost per click. You can experiment with CPM or optimize for. We have just found the best results have come from our PCP option. Now what happens is once you choose all those different Facebook pages and the countries and the age and male, female, you're going to get a suggested bid. So as you can see, they're saying 18 cents to 40 cents. What I tend to do is bid somewhere in the middle, maybe high middle. So I make sure that I'm not low, but I don't necessarily have to be the highest as well. This has pretty much served me. Now, to be quite honest, this came out so low because I think it was targeting one Facebook page, I think the Tony Robbins page. When I add more pages, I tend to have a higher suggested bid. But if this was what I got, I probably would just say 40 cents. I'd go for the 40 because usually if I can pay 50 cents or less on a click, I'm all about that. 30 cents would be amazing. I've gotten it as low as 7 cents. I'll talk to you about how I did that later. But 50 cents lower is pretty good. 80 cents per click is the average on Facebook, but there's really no big reason you need to be paying for that unless you're in an extremely competitive market. And what I mean by that is if you're only targeting Facebook pages that have millions of fans and a lot of engagement, you tend to pay higher. That's what you're paying higher for. You're paying higher if you're going to go after these huge, big Facebook pages. So you just got to keep that into context when you are deciding how much you want to spend on your ad. So the ad question that I get all the time is how much do I need to spend on my ads to get results? Have you ever thought of that question? Because I know it's a big one. And the answer is it depends on your niche and product. However, I know that's a very vague answer, and I'll get into more specifics. But if every niche is different, and also every product's different. But if I'm selling a $100 program on my free webinar, I will spend less on ads versus if I'm selling or promoting a $1,000 program at the end of my webinar. So it really depends. So what I want you to look at is you've got to decide for yourself how much is a lead worth to you. David has a $1,000 program, Create Awesome Interviews, Create Awesome Courses. And his $1,000 program, he would definitely spend more on, let's say, a 2-week ad campaign to fill up his 3-part video series than I would for my $97 program. It just makes sense. So it's a very individual experience depending on your niche, your product, what you're going to sell, and your audience in general. You've got to decide what you're comfortable spending. But here's something that will help you out. If you're just getting started or if you need a benchmark, $100 a week for 2 to 3 weeks, if you follow this strategy, should get you some pretty solid results. I tend not to spend a lot on ads. I teach ads all the time, but I'm not a big spender. So I know firsthand that you do not have to spend a lot of money in order to get big results with your ads, but you do need to put the time and effort into creating this strategy. So $100 a week for a few weeks, you'll get some great results. Now, to kind of wrap up the Power Editor, you've got to do one last thing that really throws people for a loop because, again, I don't know what Facebook is thinking. Why can't they just add the save button? You've got to upload because basically think of the Power Editor as a separate dashboard that's attached to Facebook, but not really. So they need that data back at Facebook. So once you create your ad, then you're going to click upload so it goes back to Facebook and gets into the approval process. Now, one thing I've noticed is sometimes my ads will get approved or disapproved, but usually approved, and it will still stay pending. We'll have a little clock. You can't see it here, but like next to podcast ad, it might have a little clock saying it's pending in the Power Editor. Don't be fooled by that. I always just go by the email. Facebook will send you an email when your ad's actually running or if it was disapproved. So use that in order to really understand if your ad actually is running. Okay. So step number 10 is monitor your ad analytics. Now the first thing I want to say is let's go back to step 7, and that is you've got to make sure you add that pixel code to your opt-in page. Because if you really want to know if your ad's working, it really comes down to are you getting the leads that you want to get for the money that you're paying. So I am not a big fan of diving deep into analytics. I never have, and I've always had really great success. So I don't think you need to spend hours here. That's just kind of my take. And I'm pretty sure David feels the same way. He's not like spending hours and hours poring over these analytics.
No, I
But
mean,
there
you
are,
just want the like we're all on the same page here. Like, all of us that are on this, right? Is that, you just want the key metrics. You don't want to be sitting there all day worrying about. You don't want to be the data person.
yeah, it just,
You got other stuff to do, aka run the business. So
yes. So it's just not worth it. But there are things that you definitely want to pay attention to. So the first thing is the number one thing in my book is the click through rate. You see where it says 2.391%. So this is an ad that I ran in the newsfeed. So I am very happy with 2.391%. Anything below 2%, I start to get a little antsy and I want to change things up. But if I'm above 2%, I am golden. So that is the one I watch the most. I also am paying close attention to my ad spend, of course, and I know how much I want to spend per week. But also look at frequency, 1.2. I used to say if it goes beyond 5, this means on average how many times people have seen your ad in their newsfeed. I used to say 5. Now I've kind of changed that. I've done some more extensive research and experimenting. I think 2 or 3, 3 max. If it hits 3, they've seen it a lot. And the reason I tell you that is I have an ad that I used to run a lot that was for my podcast. So all it said is, hey, have you checked out my latest podcast? I had a picture of the artwork, and that's really all it said. It linked to my podcast. Well, the frequency was 1, but I've had multiple people tell me, I see your ad all the time. It's a good thing and a bad thing. I want them to see the ad. People need to see it a few times in order to actually take action, but I don't want them to get annoyed with seeing my face in their newsfeed. So I have to really walk that line. So over 3, I'd probably change the ad up. We'll talk about how to change your ad up to kind of make things more fresh, but just watch the frequency. And then your campaign reach is actually how many people have seen your ad. So if I had an ad that was going to 500,000 people and only 36,000 people have seen it so far, well, I'm going to keep running this ad for sure. As long as my click-through rate's good and my frequency is good and I feel comfortable about my ad spend, I'm going to keep running the ad. And then post-engagement are the number of people that have engaged with your post in different ways. So let me actually show you a little bit about that. So this also goes with the analytics. When you go into the Power Editor or the traditional ads dashboard, you can get your analytics for every single ad. I go into the traditional ads dashboard. It's just easier to break things down. So I'll go into the traditional ads dashboard, find my ad, and this is the area I really pay attention to. So it shows me how many people actually clicked on my photo, clicked on my link, actually liked my page, and then some other actions like shared it or commented or whatever that might be. Now, let me break this down for you. A lot of people look at this and think, well, they page photo view, they viewed your photo, who cares? Well, when you click on a photo or a video, a light box pops up. And next to that is your status update, your information and your link. So that they could actually go beyond and then click the link. So that's a little bit misleading. In addition to that, then you've got your pure just click the link right away in your ad. But another cool thing, and this is something we haven't talked about yet, one thing that you really want to pay attention to is when it comes to running Facebook ads, a few of you, a handful of you told me that you want to run ads to get more likes for your Facebook page. Well, that's a whole nother strategy for a whole nother day. However, it's not as powerful as this strategy. And the greatest thing about running page post ads is I can promise you your likes will grow. Your fan base will grow when you run this strategy. It just happens automatically. It literally happens every single time I run ads. It's part of the reason why I have so many ads on my Facebook page, or excuse me, so many likes, because I run ads pretty regularly. I do not run ads to get more likes. It just happens because here's something huge, really important. When you run a page post ad in the newsfeed to non-fans, usually it's the darndest thing. It doesn't happen like every single time, but usually the people that are not fans of your page will get a like this page button at the top of the ad. So they can like your page and click on your link to go check out your opt-in. So this just happens automatically. There's nothing you can do about it, but it's the reason why you're going to get a lot of likes on your Facebook page as well as the leads. So just something to think about. Now, a question I get when it comes to ad analytics is how will I know if my ad is converting to sales? So this is a little bit different. Some of you, of course, want to know, how do I know if I'm getting the leads from my ad? And that's definitely with the conversion tracking pixel. But if you're running this strategy, and the strategy is click the ad, go to the lead page, get the lead, then eventually, either through email marketing or at the end of a webinar or whatever, you're going to sell them into something. Well, then how do you know if your ad is converting to sales? Well, here's the part where you've got to really pay attention. You want to track your Facebook leads separately. And what that means is that create an opt-in page just for your Facebook leads from your ads. So let's say you were going to use lead pages, that tool we told you about earlier. You are able to create multiple lead pages. So let's say you created one lead page and it's only for your Facebook ads. People click your ad, they go to that page. Every time someone opts in there, depending on if you use Office Autopilot, Infusionsoft, Aweber, there's a lot of different tools you can use to collect those names and emails. But there's usually a way you can tag that new lead. And what we do is we tag them with the term FB ad. So if they came through from a Facebook ad, whether they were already on my list or not, they saw this ad, they clicked it, they signed up for my free webinar, they instantly get the tag FB ad. And then on my webinar, when I sell my big program, I can look at all the people who bought and I can do a search. How many of them have the term FB ad attached to their contact in my email system? And from there, you can see how many leads you got versus how many of those leads became sales. This is the cleanest and simplest way for you to really know if your ads are converting to sales. Now, what if they're not? What if your leads are actually not getting you sales? Well, there's a few factors involved. One thing, the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself, did that free giveaway really lend itself well or really transition well into my product, program, or service? Or were people a little jolted when I had something to offer them that just really wasn't congruent with the free giveaway? So if David did a 3-part video series all about how to turn your knowledge into a course, and then at the end of the 3-part video series, he sold a product about how to get ripped abs like he has, well, that would be a little bit weird. I mean, some people would want it, but it would be weird, right? So you need to just make sure that, and that's a blatant one, but I want you to look a little deeper. Does your giveaway lend itself well to transitioning into a sale of that program, product, or service? Also, if it's a high ticket item, like David, $1,000 versus my $97, David, I will tell you, has to do a little bit more work to make sure people trust him. They understand what he's teaching. His 3-part video series, each of those videos was like a paid training I should have given money for. I watched them all. They were really intense and really, really good. I'm not just saying that because he's my partner here, but he put some major time and effort into that. So you do need to do a little bit work. The more expensive your product, it's got to show in your giveaway as well. That's something I want you to think about. So there's a few factors that could be involved if those leads aren't converting to sales. Also, one more thing I'll say, I get pretty passionate about this one, but one more thing is that if that lead isn't converting instantly to a sale, whether you're doing it, let's say at the end of a webinar like me, or at the end of an ebook, or at the end of a video series like David, if it doesn't become an instant sale, don't give up there. That's where step number 4, email marketing, comes into play. They might need a few extra value add emails where you really encourage them to check out your product. That email marketing comes really in handy when you've made the sale, but they're not just yet ready to buy. You've got to send them a series of emails that will help them make that move to become a buyer. So if you're not sure, again, where to start, begin with $100 for a few weeks, and we already went over that. Now, some of you have emailed me and said, my ad keeps getting disapproved. Well, if you're not doing the video ad and you're using an image, any ad that you place in the newsfeed, it cannot have more than 20% text, meaning that ad image that you upload to your page or status update that you then turn into a page post ad, no more than 20% text, which is really quite tough. I've seen some great examples out there, but the greatest thing ever, if you're really going to use this strategy exactly how we're teaching you here, you don't even need to worry about the 20% text rule because you're uploading a video. Also, be really mindful of your opt-in page. This is something a lot of people don't teach, but it's really important, and I've seen it happen over and over again. On your opt-in page, if you want to get your ad approved, Do not use language stuff such as guaranteed instant results, wildly successful results promised to you, anything like that. You get the point. Do not make those overarching promises on your opt-in page or sales page or wherever you're sending people from that ad. That's probably beyond the 20% rule of the image in the news feed. It's probably the number one reason why people get their ads disapproved. Be careful what you're promising, especially if you're in the fitness, weight loss, or financial arena. That's when they're really, really careful about that. And then I kind of alluded to this earlier, monitor your comments carefully. Because a page post ad is an ad that actually has the like, share, and comment buttons in the ad, people that see your ad can leave a comment. They don't even have to click on your video or your link. They're more social, which makes them more engaging, which is a good thing, but there is a precaution. Now, this one's a little bit tame, but I just wanted to show you. This one is from some guy that decided he was going to advertise on my ad. Now, because 1,611 people have liked this, it's getting some pretty good traffic at the time. So he's thinking, why not just kind of add to it and ride on her coattails? Well, obviously, this is not cool. So David reminded me what we do. We delete and we ban the user from posting again, which I feel totally comfortable with. If they're going to be jerks like this, who would ever really do that? No one on this call I know. But you have to check like twice a day. And a lot of you, not a lot, I keep saying that, a handful of you, maybe 4 or 5, wrote me and said, hey, I'm having problems with people thinking I'm spamming them in their news feed, and I'm getting these horrible comments like, you're such a jerk, get out of my news feed. And I've had them. Luckily, it's very, very rare, but I've seen them as well. And of course, we delete and we ban. But here's something I want you to want to remind you, and I've already mentioned this. If you're getting a lot of that, you've got to rethink your targeting. Now, I think I have, oh good, in the best practices, I'm gonna come back to that a little bit because I have a tip for you about how not to get those spam comments in your newsfeed ads. Okay, so some benchmarks and best practices. So newsfeed ads, basically, just to remind you so you have it all in one place, you want your click-through rate to be 2% or higher. Now, if you really want to run a sidebar ad, remember you want 0.04% or higher, but we are not recommending that. Now, again, you want to target between 250,000 and 500,000 people for each ad. And if you need to, create a few different ads with themes like I mentioned, like the email marketing theme, the personal development theme, related to your brand and what you're doing and what you're selling. You could have a few different. However, if you are a local business, that 250 to 500K is way too high for you, for 90% of people that are running a local business. So if you're trying to get people into your store, it's a whole different ballgame, and it really just depends on the locations you're targeting. If you're lucky enough to get that high, great, but most of you will be below probably 50,000 people per ad, and that's just the nature of a local ad. And then keep the frequency below 3, and we already talked about that. I just wanted to make sure you had it all in one place. Again, use precise interest, run the newsfeed only ad, and use the conversion tracking tool to make sure your ads are doing what you want them to do. Now, here's a tip that I haven't brought up yet, and this is one of David and I use it all the time, and it saves us tons of money. Remember I told you that the average click-through rate was 80 cents per click, but I like to stay between 50 cents or 50 cents and lower. However, sometimes I can get 7 cents, 8 cents, 10 cents per click on my ads. And the way I do that is I market only to my existing fan base. So to save money on ads, grow a solid fan base and then only target your existing fans with a specific ad when you run your ads. So that would be like a theme, it would be your fans only. Your cost per click will be very low, and of course that's a good thing. So just to reiterate, if you have a fan base, let's say you have a few thousand fans, that's probably when this works best, a few thousand or more, and you run a page post ad, and I'll show you this in when we go into the Power Editor so I can show you a few things, you can choose just your page, just your fans. And when you do that, the only people that see your ad in the newsfeed are the people that have already liked your page. Well, Facebook charges a lot less for that because these people already raised their hand and said they want to hear from you. This is a great strategy to do when your engagement rate is really low. Like if you're posting on your Facebook page and people aren't commenting or sharing or anything like that, it's a great way to get that engagement up to only target your ads in the newsfeed. Okay, we're going to take a deep breath now, and we're going to actually dive into some Q&A. But first, let's just go through the strategy breakdown one more time, just to kind of get it in your body so you know exactly what you're doing. First, you're going to design a giveaway opportunity. 2, you're going to create an opt-in landing page. 3, you're going to record a 2-minute video about your giveaway. 4, you're going to create an email autoresponder. 5, you're going to post a status update on your Facebook page. 6, you're going to create a video page post ad inside the Power Editor. 7, you're going to add that conversion tracking pixel to your opt-in page. 8, identify and target your perfect audience. 9, set up your ad budget. And 10, monitor your ad analytics. That is a lot to cover. I know. I think we're going to get into even more stuff in this Q&A, but I want to just take a deep breath here, get everyone kind of ready for the next steps. Okay, so let me just take a quick note. David, are you there?
I am always here.
Okay,
Of
great.
course.
So what I thought we would do, if you're cool with it, is basically I have some questions that have come in. So I have some
Sure.
questions in front of me now. I thought I would address some of these, and then we'll kind of go back and forth, and you can jump in whenever you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I know you've been teaching for a while here, so anytime you need a break, I'm here for you for sure. Yeah, and also, yeah, I've got some questions here. And then, maybe we can also even afterwards demo a few things and kind of, X out of the old presentation, if you will.
I could actually do that right now and just show a few quick things that I thought would be valuable.
Cool. Why don't you do that, and I'll
Okay.
actually answer a couple of questions that I saw as well. Is that cool?
Perfect. I'll get it
Great.
set up. Yeah.
So a couple questions, and I just want to start with some that were asked more than once, right?
Okay.
So first of all, people were mentioning, does Facebook fan page size matter, or is the thing that's important that you just have a fan page?
Oh, I'm so glad. Do you want to take this one, or I could take
Yeah,
it?
I mean, I can kick it off. I mean, to do the ad strategy that we talked about, meaning that where you're running it to other people's fan pages, all you need is a fan page. Doesn't matter
Yes.
how many fans you have. If you're going to do things like lookalike audiences and other running ads to your own fans, and look at pages that also like your page, obviously size helps in that point, but it has nothing to do with the strategy. That would be my thought.
Okay, cool. Totally agree. That's the great thing about the strategy. If your list is small or you don't have a list yet, you can still start this today, get it going. So that's
Exactly.
probably my favorite part.
And I'll answer this question as well, Amy, as you get this
Okay.
going, is if people don't, if you don't want to sell a product or service, which is a whole conversation by itself, but you want to use this strictly for list building, should you use a strategy? My answer is absolutely yes. This strategy, because that's what you're doing. You're getting people to enter their email for something. Hopefully, you have a product or service to sell down the line, but yes, it's also an incredible list building strategy. Agree?
Totally agree. If a lot of people just aren't ready maybe to sell something, get going now with this strategy so you have a list. Yeah,
Exactly.
perfect.
One final one, and then I'll let you maybe show some stuff. People want to see like what a pixel, like conversion pixel and stuff like that looks like, and things like that.
Okay.
But one thing I did want to clarify, a lot of people mention this, super important. So the conversion pixel, people were asking, where exactly do you put that? What page do you put it on? And some people are confused. You do not put it on the opt-in page, okay? Meaning you do not take the conversion pixel and put that on your opt-in page, because that's going to make it look like anyone that landed on that page converted, right? But
Oh
they
my God,
didn't.
I totally said
So,
that wrong. I'm so glad
right,
you're
right. So let me
reiterating
so
that.
let me get this. This is why, guys, that's why I'm here. The devil is in the David details in here, right? Okay. So here's the thing. You want to put the conversion pixel on the page that appears after they enter their email. Okay? After they enter their email, that's where the conversion pixel goes. So maybe it's a thank you page. Maybe it's a download page. Maybe it's actually, Amy, if you could right now, you could,
Yeah.
if you want to, we could just show exactly where I put it. Go to createawesomeonlinecourses.com real fast. I just want to show people here.
Okay.
And when that comes up, well, the landing page will come up here in a sec. I can hear the typing.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay,
Oh,
create awesome online.
Am I
Online, you forgot online. Awesome online
Okay.
courses. Okay. Okay. So now on this page, I do not put a conversion pixel, right? Now, Amy, enter some kind of email, enter whatever you want there.
Okay.
Okay. So now
Okay.
Amy's opting in. Yay. Okay. The next
Yay.
page that she goes to, which in my case happens to be the first video in this video series, this is the page that has the conversion pixel on it, right? You don't see it, obviously. It's on WordPress behind the scenes, but that's where the conversion pixel goes. So if you were doing a webinar, maybe it's a thank you, check your email page. Whatever comes up after they enter their email, that's where the conversion pixel goes.
Okay, good. I'm so glad you brought that up because I would have steered you all wrong. I'm so sorry. I forgot that extra step. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to take you a little bit into the Power Editor. And this is what it might look a little bit different when you get in there, but the first thing I always do inside the Power Editor is click download. And the reason is because it's got to bring in all of the posts that I've done since the last time I was here. So always click download. No matter if you think you've done a lot or not, you got to do it.
This is cool.
And
We're
then
doing a
from
live.
there,
We're doing a live campaign here, folks. We're showing you guys exactly all the stuff we just went over, doing it a little bit live here. We'll even show you the conversion pixel, and I'll explain where that goes too.
okay, good. So I'm just going to click on one of my random ads over here that I'm actually not even running right now. So this is the podcast ad that I mentioned earlier. Have you checked out my new podcast? All that good stuff. So with this, a few things I want to show you. Remember I told you first you're going to click campaigns. Now if you've already done this, you already know that if you have a few campaigns already set up, I can just click on create ad and it will automatically generate for me. But if I wanted to create a new campaign, this is where I would do it. Create a campaign, and then again, remember there's no save button, very odd, and then go into ads, and then I could do create an ad. So basically there's just a few little things that you might get hung up on. Just push yourself through it because it's so worth it when it comes to that placement option there. So also sometimes, I don't know why it's not happening now, but I should get a pop-up and it will say, which campaign do you want to put this new ad into? And it will see it, you'll see a drop down. You can just choose which campaign. It's kind of odd that it's not doing it now, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So once you set up your ad, let's just do, if we're going to do a new ad here. So we're beyond the podcast ad, new ad. And then here we can do our video ad like I showed you. And then I've got to find, I'm an admin of a few pages. So you've got to find, look here where it says destination. You might also be an admin of a few different pages. Make sure you're on the page you want to run the ad from because you won't find the status update if it's not from your page. Now it's saying no recent post of this type because in the last 28 days I haven't posted a video. So let me actually show you something cool that all of you will, I think, find really valuable. You're seeing all my secret stuff right here. Okay, so here we are on my Facebook page. And if you go to any post, it takes a little bit to generate, give it a second. If you go to any post on your Facebook page, all of them have a special ID. So if I wanted to go to a really older post, let's say, okay? So give me a second because I really want to show you. This is going to be valuable in the future for you. I'm just scrolling down, scrolling like a crazy person. Hold on. And I've got to go to an older post that's not generating in the Power Editor because it's older than 28 days. So it will just take a second. I'm almost there. Let's see here. Oh
Look at
goodness,
Amy's
I
cool
post a
Facebook
lot,
page. She always has
obviously.
cool photos and all kinds of good stuff like that.
It's kind of crazy. I'm almost there. Hold on. Here we go. I know it's coming up because I saw it. Here we go. This is just a random video. Okay. So if I click, I'm going to show you a few things right here. So this is good stuff. If you want to click on an actual post to get the ID of that post, because you can use it in the Power Editor, I'll show you, just click on the date of your post. So I'm going to click right there. I'm going to stop this video because it's going to start playing. It's going to probably make me look funny in a weird spot. Oh, good. It's probably just going to stay black. Great. So we are inside. This is going to confuse you, but I'll actually show. There we go. There, of course.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect.
So, yes, lovely. So this is the video playing right now. And up here, as you can see, this is the ID. Anything after that equal sign. So if I copy this, all right, I'm going to just do a control copy, go inside the Power Editor, and they're saying, we don't have any video posts to show you. And I'll say, well, yeah, you do. Let me show you. I just clicked Enter Post ID, and then just click Enter, and you will see, here it is, right here. So you can generate any post inside here if you have the host ID. And that's just those numbers after the equal sign up here. I know it's really small.
It,
But
it,
while I'm here,
yeah, may
go
as well
ahead.
show. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going here. May as well show the edit,
Okay, good.
right?
We're so on the same page, David. We're just like gelling together.
I know.
Okay,
One
so
brain, one brain.
so when you're here, well, since we're here, David and I want to just show you how cool this is. So this was an affiliate promotion I did for B School. So it says B School is open. If you're thinking about joining, watch my short bonus video first. This is from a long time ago. I am not promoting anything right now. Okay, so but what if B School was not open yet? So before this, it didn't actually say that. I click edit, and I'll say B School is coming. And then if you're thinking about joining, watch my bonus, because my bonus video came out before the doors actually opened, which was a strategy I had. So see how I can change that? I can even change the date of when it should post. So I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can change that. So I can also change this header. Now, why this is important is videos are the only media on Facebook where you get a big bolded header above. So let's just say I'm done editing, and then I want to get out of there. And then see how it says this big bolded title? See, I don't have that anywhere else. So that's another great bonus of having a video. So those are just some cool things you can do when you upload a video. Okay, so let's quickly go back to the Power Editor. And again, I just set things up just as you saw them. And I wanted to go to the Audience tab. So see these tabs over here? You already know how to do all this here, but this is one thing I didn't point out yet. So you've got your precise interest. And remember I said you get this drop down. So if I type in Lewis Howes, notice nothing pops up. So if I move on to something else, this is not finished. That's not what it looks like. It has to look like, I'm going to call myself out here, it has to look like that. See how it popped up in the drop down? So if it doesn't look like it popped up like that, you are not targeting that page. But one thing David and I like to do is target our own fans in a separate campaign so that we can pay a lot less per click. And you can do that right here where it says connections. Target users who are connected to Amy Porterfield. Now, here's the thing. Let's say you don't want to target any of your fans. Let's say you've already targeted a bunch of your fans already and you don't want to target them. You can say target users who are not already connected to. So I could add in a bunch of Facebook pages here, Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, Frank Kern, and then let's just say for some reason I didn't want to target my existing fans. Well, then I could say don't target these fans. So you can do this with any pages you're an admin of. You cannot type in anything down here of pages you are not an admin of. And again, here's your estimated reach. And even though my page has over 40,000 fans, you only see 24,000 here because I'm targeting only the United States. I'd have to add in a bunch of other countries. Let me show you one more quick thing.
And Amy, as you set up one more quick thing, I want to clarify on something too. Something that I did. So here's what I did for Create Awesome Online Courses. I basically set up one video ad, right? Like, and realize, guys, you can take the one ad and do different campaigns with it. You know, so meaning like you can have the same video. I didn't make multiple video ads, but here's what I did. I created the one video ad for people to opt into the free video series, right? And then what I did was I targeted a bunch of similar fan pages. So I targeted, you know, the Amy Porterfields, the Marie Forleos, people like that. And that was my, you know, let's call it ad number one. Then for ad number two, everything was exactly the same. It's the same ad. It's the same video. It's the same everything. The only difference was I ran that ad to my own fans. Okay. And so it's the same thing. And I have two up there. It's the same ad, but one was running to all these other pages and one was running to my fans. It's more of an advanced tip, but it's certainly something you can do if you have a decent fan base on your fan page. Not required for the strategy at all, but certainly it's kind of a bonus for people that have built up their fan pages.
Yes, definitely. I'm glad you pointed that out where it's just one page post ad and you can use it all those different ways. Now, one thing that people might be wondering is how do I know which countries to target? And one of the cool ways to find out is if you go into your Facebook page. So here we are. Let's go all the way back up. Hold on. Let me just go faster. We'll go all the way back up. If you go into edit page and then you go into, let's see here. Oh, you want to show your admin. Okay, so I click the button show right here. And then see where it says Insights? If I click See All, give it a second. And one thing that you can do inside Insights is you can see what countries your people are coming from. And this will help you. So here I'll see a mix of women and men, which is almost pretty balanced. But then I can find out the US, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. These are the ones that I target all the time. That's where, and then India is another great one. The majority of my audience is coming from. So I like to model. If they're coming from there, then I want to get more people from there because that makes perfect sense for my list. So that's one way you can figure out in the Power Editor where to start. Where do you want to actually target? You don't want to put in every single country. And actually, I don't even think you can. There's a limit. I don't know what it is. Okay. So let's go back. Do you want to do some questions that came
Yeah,
in?
yeah. One more thing, Amy. Could you just click on conversion tracking real quick on the left?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just click on it. I just want to show people something.
This is where it is.
Yeah, and then grab something that's see if we can grab a little piece of code just to show, or just create one. Go for it.
Okay. So I'm going to create one, and this is just an example, and then we're going to create, what do we want? We want leads, and then create pixel.
And then you take that pixel,
and
right,
then,
and you copy it.
Yep.
And you would pop that into like a
once
WordPress.
You copy it. Yep, exactly. And it tells you where to put it. If this doesn't make sense to you, any programmer will be able to do it in 5 minutes. So it's really easy, I promise.
Yeah, the way that I did it, I just went to Brad.
Yeah, what'd you do?
My wet. Well,
yes.
so I am the anti-tech person, right? Like, guys, and I did this all with Amy, and Amy and I, neither one of us is like the most technical person of all time here. Trust me, by any means. I once did half a webinar with the microphone not plugged in. So the thing is, what I simply did was, you know what I mean? And again, this is your job as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you know what I mean, is to make sure that you have, help in place here. But like, I simply just either, my choice on these things, I went to Brad, my web guy, and I said, hey, can you put this code on this page? And I just copied the code, put it in an email, and said, Brad, put it on this page. That's it. Okay. If I didn't want to do that, I would just simply Google or go into WordPress and search around and say, okay, how do I add a pixel onto a page? So all the easy technical questions can easily be either outsourced or it's all figure it outable, if you will.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so I've got some really great questions here. One came from our good friend, John Dumas. I just want to give him a big shout out, from Entrepreneur on Fire. And he said, thank you so much for putting on this crucial class. I really need it. My question is, after we follow this fantastic advice you're going to give us, and we create our amazing Facebook ads, what is our next step? Can you give us a snapshot of the funnel after action has been taken on these ads? And he wrote this in before the session, so he kind of understands what happens then. You find a way, whether it be at the end of your 3-part video series, or at the end of your live webinar, or end of your recorded webinar, or wherever you want to put it, or if you just want to do it in an email, after you give your free giveaway, you're going to promote what it is you have. But then, also I wanted to point out that you got to remember step number 4. The more you can use those autoresponders after people opt in for your giveaway, the more freedom you will have in your business. And this is something I didn't do early on, and I'm just really learning the hard way now. So I wanted to reiterate, step number 4 is really important. So I thought that was a great question. Okay, so this one's from Jane, and Jane says, David and Amy, I've been running ads to drive traffic to my squeeze page that allows them to view 4 videos that then leads to the sales video. Perfect.
Great.
From 3 separate campaigns run on separate days, I've had an average click-through rate of around 1.5% or better. So then she goes on to say, oh, this one I covered as well. She goes on to say, but I'm getting a lot of spam. So the reason I wanted to make sure I answered this one more time is, again, be mindful of your connections. So let me go back real fast, because this is something I wanted to show you in here as well. When you're inside, let's say, precise interest, like we are, let's see here, like we are here, you can do, let's say, I just always use Anthony Robbins because he's more general. So if we use Anthony Robbins, but then I can also use the hashtag Facebook marketing or Facebook whatever. That's probably way too general, but you get the point. So if you want to use hashtags as well as precise interest, you can get even more specific. Now your number will go down considerably. Look at this. But if I'm adding a bunch of different Facebook pages, that these are people that in the last 7 days have talked about Facebook marketing on Facebook, well then it could be pretty valuable for me. So if you're getting a lot of spam complaints, use hashtags as well. All right, so David, this one's actually for you. Let's go back here because this is way fun, more fun to look at than that crazy page. Okay, so David, the question is, you have talked a lot about how you doubled your email subscribers using Facebook ads. My question is, did you double your Rise VIP list or your Create Awesome Online Courses list, or both?
Well, actually, it ended up being both over time. Not just exclusively to Facebook ads, right? As I said, it was a big part of the strategy. But I can tell you right now that it more than doubled our prospect list for Create Awesome Online Courses. I mean, more than doubled.
Oh, I love that.
To say the least. Yeah. So to answer that question for sure. And Amy, actually, one quick one here for you on someone was a couple people were asking about kind of pending ads and stuff like that, and Facebook disapproving, and the kind of the whole pending ad process once you upload. Any light you can kind of share on that? I mean, does Facebook normally respond in a certain period of time? What happens if your ads disapprove? That kind of good stuff.
Great question. So along the way, as you experiment, one or two of your ads will get disapproved. It happens to all of us. So a few things to know. When you submit your ad, make sure you click upload and make sure you've got that little clock next to your ad that you just submitted. Whether it's in the traditional ads dashboard or the Power Editor, you should see that little clock. Now, again, you're looking for that email from Facebook that comes to the email you use to log into Facebook, and you're waiting for a disapprove or approve. Now, when you get a disapproved, now, first of all, if it's taking forever, like 3-4 days, I would definitely delete the ad and start over. Let's say after 48 hours, maybe 72 hours, I would delete and start over. David, did it take you longer than 72 hours to get any ad approved when you did this?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I would be surprised. So some people it takes longer. If you haven't used ads and you have a small page, unfortunately, Facebook might be dragging their feet to get to yours. Whereas I run ads all the time, so I'm probably approved within an hour, but it wasn't always like that. So the more you use Facebook ads, you'll move up that ladder, which is a great thing. So don't waste more 3 days. I'd can the ad, I'd literally delete it and start from scratch. Just make sure you make a list of those precise interest pages because they'll all go away and you got to start over. So that's one thing. But if your ad does get disapproved, they'll usually, maybe not always, but usually tell you why it was disapproved. And if you're doing a video page post ad like we're doing here, it's likely your opt-in page. They don't like something on that opt-in page. And sometimes it makes no sense whatsoever. And I've been disapproved and I'm thinking, that's ridiculous. This makes no sense. So what I'll do is I'll maybe do nothing and literally resubmit. I might delete the ad and start over. Or I might change one tiny thing and then like change one of my precise interests so the ad kind of regenerates. Facebook knows when something's been changed, and then resubmit, and it goes through right away. So if you feel like there's no reason that ad should be disapproved, go ahead and resubmit it. Maybe change one tiny thing and then see what happens. That usually works for me. Okay, so let's see here. David, you jump in anytime you want to ask a question because we both have these
Cool.
lists. One of the, okay, so Pam asked a series of great questions that most of them I've covered in the training, so I won't get to all of them. But she had asked, does it work well for affiliated offers or only for your own offers? And I loved this question because it completely works for affiliate offers. Now, I will say that affiliate offer has to be good. Obviously, our offers have to be good. So there's nothing I can do for you on the terms of how valuable that offer is, but I did it for B-School and it worked really, really well in the sense that I wasn't, B-School had a lot of conditions or guidelines around their ads, so I had to respect that. But I made a video for B-School, and that's what I ran. I ran an ad talking about my bonuses, and it worked like gangbusters. I did very, very well in that affiliate promotion, and partly because of these page post ad strategies. So 100% Pam, run them for your affiliate deals as well. But they work best when you can make that video, when you're making the offer to them, when you're doing a special bonus for that affiliate. The more you can infuse yourself into the actual experience or the strategy, the better.
I got one here. I'll
okay,
still jump in, Amy, real quick here. I got to give you a break. You've just been talking and talking and I don't want you to run out of gas. A few questions kind of came in. I got kind of two things here. One is like kind of just sort of the general, and I'll answer this one, is kind of the general kind of people saying, here's my business model. Is this going to work for me? Here's my business model. Is this going to work for me? Well, here's the thing, guys. We've seen this work for pretty much every single business model. Your business model has nothing to do with it. Whether you sell services, physical products, you've got a local thing, you sell information products, you're a coach, it doesn't matter. It's the process, right? So it's the idea that, doing the video, doing the ad, having a free giveaway of some type of information, it doesn't matter then later on what you're actually selling, right? That's a funnel question for yourself. But this strategy doesn't just work for people that are selling information products. It's for really anything. It's as long as you follow it to a T, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
Um,
So yeah.
the other question here, Julie was asking, if you target a bunch of pages, is there a way to save that for next time? What I do, and maybe there's a simpler way, Amy. Anytime I'm doing an ad, I just basically copy and paste it, put it into a document, and I say, here's where the pages that I targeted. So then next time I could just copy and paste it from a Word document or a Pages document into the editor. What do you do?
Heck, I didn't even know you could do that. So that's amazing. So if you copy and paste, like, can you do it all at once or do you have to do one at a time?
No, I think you might have to do one at a time, but I like to copy and paste. The bottom line is I
Yeah,
don't think you can just keep it on there. I think you have to
you
put it
can.
somewhere.
But one thing you can do is if you, let's say you ran an ad and you paused it and then you wanted to run that ad again, but you wanted to make the changes like target different people or whatever, you can edit an ad. So you could completely change it all around. You can even choose a different page post ad or whatever, but all that other stuff is still going to be there. So it's like tweaking an ad and then resubmitting it. So that's another way you could do it. If you just don't delete your ads and you can always go back to one and regenerate it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Got
I
it.
usually start from scratch. So yeah.
Got it. And one more question, and then I'll let you get back to some of yours. Some people are asking about kind of just, do they run their ads forever? Do they run them just during a launch? Do they run them, periodically? It's just a case of, how would you kind of say to that people that are looking for
So
sort of that answer there?
this is such a great question, and it really has to do with your business model. So I'm going to give you two examples. My business model is I I usually do one big live brand new webinar a quarter, and that is when I'm going to sell my Profit Lab program. So I spend a lot of time on that webinar, hours and hours and hours. I build up a whole marketing campaign, so I put all of my effort into it. And that's when I do probably 2 to 3 weeks of Facebook page post ad campaigns. And then when that is over, I try to pull back a little bit. I learned this from the book Launch by Mike Stelzner, where you go through cycles of promotion. And when that promotion's over, you kind of get to pull back. Because if people see your ad every single day for a year, they're going to get tired of it. And so that's not a huge plus. If you change things up a lot, then that's a huge plus for sure. But I like to pull back and do ads when I'm promoting something. But I also have friends in the industry that they're just using it for lead gen. And they'll sell something, but that's not necessarily their ultimate. They want to really build up their list. So they're constantly running ads, but they're doing it to different lead gen opportunities. I just talked to a guy yesterday. He has over 5 different opt-in opportunities out there. He's been at it for a while, so don't try to do that overnight. But that's a good idea too. So if you see an ad of his, one, they don't really look like ads. They're in the news feed, so they look like status updates. And two, the videos are new and the opt-in pages are new. That is the best way to go if you want to continually run this strategy. And he actually told me last night he's spending $30 and he's getting 200 leads a day. So, and this is someone, I don't want to call him out, but someone we all know really well. And he's perfected this. He didn't start out that way, but he's really perfected this page post. He's doing the exact strategy we taught you today. So it definitely can be done. Okay, so I've got one here. Let's see here. A few years ago, I built a list. This is from Mike. A few years ago, I built a list using FB by running ads at 30 to 50 cents per click to a squeeze page on my site. Now it seems like Facebook's goal is to charge $1 per click, any click to your site, for a like, for a share. Is this true? And can you get clicks to your squeeze page for under 50 cents? 100%, yes, you can. I do it every single day. One thing you want to pay attention to, Mike, is who you're targeting and what pages you're targeting and how many people you're targeting. I think playing around with precise interests, targeting your own fan base, using the hashtags, play around with that to see what you will get. Now, there's something I can't completely explain. Facebook's a little mysterious at times, but at one point I had somebody type in a certain amount of pages they were going to target, and I did the same on my account. And we both had different amounts that Facebook was charging us. I don't know the story behind that, but that seems a little bit weird. It has to do with something about my activity on my Facebook page versus their activity and the likelihood of my audience to react versus theirs. So there will be a little bit of fluctuating, but there wasn't a lot. So definitely play around with that, Mike, and that hopefully will get you should be able to get below $1 for sure. Okay. David, I want you to jump in whenever you want. I'll keep going, but
Cool.
it's all
And also,
yours.
by the way, guys, I want you to. I'm always the where I kind of see my role here, besides of someone that's using the strategy and learned it from scratch, right? Is that all I care about, and same with Amy. Both of us are in the same thing here. Is you guys implementing this and having your success, right? So if there's
Yes.
questions that have come in that are, and I mean this in the nicest way as humanly possible, but we're just going to call it irrelevant. And what I mean by that is that the purpose of kind of this workshop, and it's not that many of you guys. I want to just kind of give this as a scope. It's like a slap in this little slappy hug from Uncle David here. Is that, if you follow this to a T, this strategy works, right? If you're coming in kind of focusing on other areas or other things that we're not talking about or other things like that, this workshop was designed to give a very specific step-by-step strategy, right? That we know works for sure. And I think one of the struggles sometimes that people run into is that information overwhelm, or what about this strategy, or what about this, or what if we try this, or what if we try that? And a lot of times my answer to that is simply follow exactly what Amy taught you today. That's what I did, and that's why I had success. If you start deviating or trying your own stuff, that's great. That's awesome, all for innovation, but realize that this is the specific strategy that works. And sometimes one of the hardest things we can do as entrepreneurs is simply paint by the numbers and go do it.
Yes, yes. I'm glad you said that. Like, if you haven't ever tried the strategy before, don't try to tweak it just yet. Just
Right.
just go with step 1 through 10, and then once you get really comfortable with it, of course, kind of make it your own and do what you feel might even take it to the next level. I love that. Jeffrey has a good question. It's kind of unrelated, but it still comes back to his Facebook page because, we're starting with the Facebook page. We're starting with that status update and then turning it into an ad. So for those of you who are active on your Facebook page, quite honestly, you don't need to be active on your Facebook page to actually have the strategy work. But for many of you who are, he says, it's actually a great relief to see this offer of the ads workshop. I'm a new personal trainer with a studio. This is Jeff, new with a studio, and I'm also an Infusionsoft client. My funnel and free offering are in place. My problem, not too much, I'm not very Facebook savvy. I have a fan page, but haven't done much with it. I'm just wondering, how do I go about getting a professionally designed fan page? So here's the deal, a little off topic. It's not necessary, Jeffrey. You've learned the strategy today, so you know that you don't really have to have a really active Facebook page, so it's okay that you're just starting out. But if you want a really great timeline cover photo and you want those custom apps to look really good, I have two resources that I use. I'm not an affiliate, they're just resources I use. Customfanpagedesigns.com. So that's customfanpagedesigns.com. And another one I like is socialidentities.com. Both of them will create a Facebook page for you, like a timeline cover photo that looks really good, which I think is important as part of your branding.
By the way, just some a couple warm fuzzy moments, Amy. We've been doing lots of good trainings. We have some warm fuzzy moments. We had one. I think was it Roger or someone on the back here said that they would have happily paid $1,000 for this training, and I said I'll send the invoice.
Perfect. Send me half.
I'll be sending the invoice. Just kidding. No, just kidding, guys. We wanted to make this, very available for you guys. And Layla says, "Thank you so much, Amy and David. I can't tell you how helpful this was. I learned so much about the exact steps to take. If all your workshops follow this, if you do more, I will be in heaven." So thank you, Layla. We love it. We liked, listen, we're here
Oh,
teaching here, guys. We're here to help. But you know what? We love a friendly comment. Do you know what I mean? Especially, you know what I'm saying? We
it's
love a
so true
friendly
when you're
comment.
behind a computer and you can't hear them. So who knows if everyone's like, boo,
Right. You
no,
don't.
I don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
You don't know. You don't. I mean, just like you don't know if I'm wearing pants. But I'm saying,
Okay,
bottom
moving
line is,
on.
moving on to the next question.
Okay, this is a great one. This is from Mike, and he says, I just tried Facebook's Facebook ad inside the newsfeed, and I want to send traffic to a squeeze page on my site. Again, he wrote this before we got started. The ad was getting a high click-through rate, but, in all caps, FB is counting likes and shares as clicks and charging just as much as a click over to my site. It looks like about 4 times as many likes versus actually clicks to my site. Can I turn off the like and share feature and only pay for click transfers to my URL? Wouldn't that be nice, Mike? But you can't. So I want to dissect this a little for everyone because it's important that you understand. So actually, why did I do that? Because I'm just going to go, well, I better. Hold on. I want to show you all something that's really important for you to know. So here we are. This is David's page post ad. And Mike's saying he's running this exact kind of ad in the news feed. And people are clicking like, see where it has 404 likes, and they're clicking comment or share, and he's getting charged for those clicks. And Mike is completely right. You will get charged for those clicks. There's no way to turn that off. So a few things. One, that doesn't bother me at all because you're generating engagement. So if a lot of people start clicking like, your ad gets seen by more people. It's actually getting engagement. Facebook likes that. They continue to put that ad out there. So that's actually helping the health of your ad. In addition to that, of course, you want people to share your ad. What's better than that? So that's worth it as well. The comment, not so much. You don't want to pay for those if you don't have to, but you will have to pay for them. But here's the deal. Make sure that your call to action is very clear. As David says here, nav the first video right here. He's not saying click like if you want to learn more or leave a comment or anything like that. That's not what Mike was doing anyway, but I want to just be really clear. We've got to focus on that call to action. People will click like. That's just what Facebook's all about. You will pay for it. You're running the ad. I wouldn't get so caught up on that because you truly are getting that engagement, which helps. It helps your ad. It's not as good as the link over to your website, but page post ads have the social features and they're more powerful than the right side ads, so they're worth running for sure.
Amy, a couple things here real fast. First of all, I'll answer one here, and this is kind of goes back to the overall big strategy. And I know everyone now, you've been on here for a couple hours, you certainly understand it, but like, you know, the entire goal here, just I always like the big kind of 60,000 foot view sometimes, never to lose it, right? Is at the end of the day, your big goal is to get simply people from Facebook to enter their email for something specific, right? From you for free. That's it. So meaning, you know, yes, you're probably going to get more page likes and shares and different things like that as a result of the Facebook ad, but this strategy, which we know generates money, right? That we know generates money, you know, the key here is, of course, getting the email addresses, as you guys know. I just wanted to re-emphasize that. And by the way, guys, there is, this is funny. This is, Amy, you'll like this too, okay? By the way,
Okay.
there's no upsell or anything like this at the end of the webinar or anything today.
Are people waiting for it?
Yeah, you guys paid for this training. This is the train. We are offering you 100% value. Susan here is saying, where is it? She goes, I have my credit card ready. I'm like, I got nothing to sell you. Susan. I can sell you a dinner. I don't know. But no, we're here, guys, to offer you. There's no punches that we didn't pull any punches. There's no secret. This was literally everything, of course, as you guys know. So yeah, there's no there's no upside.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, you guys paid for this. We're just it's all about you getting value. Okay, so let's see. There was another great one. Let me see. I had it right here. Oh, okay. Pam says, you both have huge followings on your Facebook pages. Do you think that impacted your six-figure results, or is it truly what you're offering in the ad targeting? And I truly know, because I've shared this with so many of my customers, that it doesn't have to do with our big offer, our big community on Facebook. That doesn't hurt. So I'll tell you, the more you focus on growing a bigger fan base, I've never been a big fan of telling people, no pun intended, to get more fans. However, when it comes to Facebook ads, I do see a big advantage because you can target those people with your ads and you're more likely to get bigger conversions because they already know who you are. You're not spamming, quote unquote, these people that think we're spamming them in their newsfeed because they've already been a fan of yours. So if you're ever wondering why you should get more fans on Facebook, it's because of you could get better page post ads. But I'll tell you, Pam, that David and I targeted a lot of non-fans and we still had really big results. So don't you worry about your fan base at all because you can have big results as well and you don't need to have that many fans.
Yeah, it's kind of a case of like, you know, does having more fans and having a fan base, you know, help? Of course it does, but it's not required, right? It's like when people talk about anything else online. Yeah, if someone has a 100,000 person super targeted amazing email list, they might do a little bit better than the person that has the 1,000, but it doesn't mean that they both can't have success. It's just it all scales up. And so don't be afraid by that. The key is that you would just simply have a Facebook page.
Yep, for sure. Mike had a good question. He said, when starting a campaign, should you bid high or low, or let Facebook decide. And we went over that. We said click through rate, and we usually, I mean, cost per click, and we usually choose somewhere between the middle of the suggested bid that Facebook gave us. But he also had another question: when should you adjust your bidding or price? So if you're spending 20 cents per click and you're thinking, hey, I'd spend more if I could, get the reach higher, if I could get out in front of more people, you can go back and adjust your bid range. So, and that bid range actually changes over time. So you'll see when you go back into your analytics, you'll see that it probably will go down. Usually, this is something really cool. When Facebook tells me I'm going to pay between 30 cents and 50 cents per click, I usually pay like 20 cents. I don't know why they say it's going to be higher, and then it never is. So you can go back, let's say, in 24 hours, 12 hours even maybe, and see what it is, and you could bid a little higher and see if you can get that reach up. That's the only time. I usually don't even play with it that much. My ad's doing well, but if I want a little bit of a boost, definitely you can pay more.
Where I've tried, Amy, is like, let's say Facebook says, I'm making this up. Obviously, it's not going to be zero, but let's just pretend that Facebook says, okay, you can bid between $0 and $1. I like to start in the middle, so I'll go 50 cents to start. I'll see how it goes, and then I maybe try to go to 40 cents later on and try to see if anything adjusts, and just kind of lower it a little bit over time. That seems to be pretty effective for what I've tried, for sure.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea as well.
And by the way, yeah, I mean, a couple people, Christine Rose, a few other people were asking, doing cost per click is definitely a no-brainer way to do this, because if you start doing with cost per impression, that simply means that if someone sees your ad, you're going to get charged for that, as opposed to actually does something. And so that's why cost per click is you don't want to make that mistake of doing cost per impression, which some people do. Not in this strategy at all, for sure.
No, not for this one, for sure. Now, if you're doing like a live event and your ad, you're doing a totally different strategy, and the ad says when the live event is and what's going on. Well, cost per impression is great because you don't need them to click. You're just telling them the live event is and where it's at. So just a little extra tip for you.
And also, sorry, Amy, one more too.
Yeah.
Also from Chris and a few other people. Yeah. So when you do this and you're using this strategy and you upload, your ad, and you're doing all these different things, you can pause it, you can stop it, you can do anytime you want. So meaning if you just wake up one day and you're like, I don't feel like spending my ads today, you just click the pause button in the power editor and you're paused. It's not going to charge you another nickel. And you can always turn that back on. So something that you can experiment with is turning ads on and off, running them for a few weeks, turning it off for a few weeks, coming back on. That's another strategy that works for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I'm glad you brought that up. Sue had a more of an advanced question that I really liked. She says, I was listening to a great webinar with Frank Kern the other night, and he mentioned that Facebook had recently gotten more partnerships so that the possibilities of targeting with Facebook ads has just taken a giant leap. I would love to know more about what he was talking about exactly. Thanks in advance. So this is great, and I want to bring this up. Basically, I'm going to read something, a really quick paragraph about this topic, these partnerships that Facebook has. So the social network is launching partner categories. This was back in April, but some 500 unique groups with more to come, which has happened recently, are descriptors. One example, buyers of children's cereals that match up with relevant people among Facebook's 1 billion users. Facebook says that advertisers can further refine the categories by using other targeting options it already offers. So when we're talking about lookalike audiences, that's one thing, that's one way to expand your reach with your targeting, but also these partner categories. Now, the last I checked, you usually have to, be big spenders to get into a lot of the detailed targeting. But I read recently that some of these are going to trickle down to us, the people that aren't spending hundreds of thousands of dollars each year on ads. So getting really targeting like buyers of children's cereals and whatnot, or people that buy online programs about marketing, like that's stuff I want to know. So the more you get detailed in your targeting, the better.
Very cool. And Amy, you might want to, I don't know if your mic got a little farther away. You got a little quieter there. And I know
Oh,
that
I
you're
was
not,
trying to have a sexy voice for
and
you
I
guys.
know that there's nothing about Amy Porterfield says quiet. So, let's see. Oh, and by the way, guys, kind of again back to sort of this whole implementation. Where do you go now, right? With a lot of this different thing is, we covered some of the super advanced plays like the lookalike and different things like that. But definitely start with implementing steps 1 through 10, right? Like get in there, get your one ad that's ready to roll, serve it up to similar pages that you want to target, follow along, start from there. Let's start getting you some clicks. Let's start getting you some opt-ins. And then we can kind of, then you can optimize from there and make sure everything works and kind of go back over this video and do all those different things. And then if you want to step into lookalike audiences and, special stuff, great. Target your own fans. All those things are great, but I just don't want everyone to get overwhelmed and think they have to do 5,000 things from here. I think the key important thing is let's get that first ad using this very specific strategy that you can up as quickly as possible. I think that's what it's all about.
No, I like it. I totally agree. Um, this is when Jim says, "What are your thoughts about using Facebook ads like this to promote a giveaway, like or a drawing, like an iPad or a Kindle, to increase your email list?" And although that's a different strategy from what we taught today, I just want to touch on it real briefly and tell you that from my experience, when you give away those shiny objects like the iPad or the Kindle, you're going to attract a lot of people that want a free iPad versus a lot of people that are genuinely interested in your brand. So you can use a type of page post ad, video page post ad, to drive people to a contest, and contests collect leads, and leads can then lead to sales. Be careful with that price. I would do a price that's truly aligned with your program, product, or service that you're going to sell, so that you're going to attract the right type of people. Just a word of caution there. Let's see here. Okay, that one. There's a lot of, what I love is there's a lot of questions that are very similar, which is good because we're covering that.
Right, exactly. And again, guys, it's not about overthinking anything here. You know what I mean? I know that, you might be thinking, oh, again, do this, do that, but it's if this is literally let me explain why I had success with this. Is it because I'm really, really smart and good looking? No. The reason that I had success with
But
this,
you are. But
oh,
you are.
child, please. The reason that I had success with this is Amy went over exactly what she taught you guys and gals. I know someone pointed out today. They said you keep saying guys, but we're both sexist here. Okay, got it. Everyone teaches it to everyone. The key, what I did was I didn't think that hard. I just sat there.
Yes.
I brought up the video. Like Amy and I, we did this just like this, guys and gals. Brought it up and we went through it. And I just put the video on one computer or on one side of the screen. I opened the Facebook Power on the other screen, and I literally like a monkey did exactly what Amy told me to do. And guess what? It worked. And I know that's going to work for you guys. It's when you start over or out thinking yourself is where you get into trouble, and I think
Yes.
that's one big thing to take away here for sure.
I'm so glad you said that. I won't keep going on it, but I have to say one thing. The biggest success that my clients have had, and David's not a client, but a friend that I taught the exact strategy to, are those people that don't ask a million questions beyond what I taught. Like, well, what about if we did this? Or what about if we did that? Like David said, do that later, get all 10 steps locked in, tell us the successes you've had, and then blow us away with everything you do beyond that. So
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Sharon has a good question. She says, if I have multiple products, this is kind of a question that relates to that. If I have multiple products to sell, what is the best way to set up the ads? One at a time and test each for a period, or have all of them run at the same time? I don't care if they all go to the same autoresponder or not, which seems a little bit odd, but I probably don't understand that last part. So here's the deal, Sharon. Kind of along the lines of what David and I just said, choose one product, one giveaway, one product, do one strategy, and get really good at that. Make sure your conversions are strong and you're actually sending people to become buyers, and then move on to the next product. I would never, ever do all of them at the same time.
Good question. Good question.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Okay. So I'm kind of running out on my end.
Yes, I mean we're pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of similar stuff that's going on here. And by the way, for those here that are on live, I'm going to be taking this recording. I'm going to edit it. I'll get the PDF. I'm going to probably take a few of the resources, throw them into a little document. It'll take a little bit of time, but I work like a cat. So I can tell you right now that I will have this up pending any disasters in less than 24 hours for sure. And I will have this up on a page, and there'll be a password that you can access the page, and you'll be able to download everything and go through it and get the PDFs and all that kind of jazz. So before you guys ask, I will make sure to get that up, and I will email it out to everyone so that they have full access. You can go through it at your precious heart's content.
I love it. I love it. Here's a good one that came up. This is simple to answer, but I just want to make sure everyone feels like they got their questions answered. I think this might be Sydney, but I'm not sure. Sydney, what are the tricks? Oh, this is Pedro. What are the tricks to get the cheapest clicks possible without sacrificing quality? And we already said it, but I want to just make sure you understand, Pedro. The best way to get the cheapest clicks possible, but they're really quality, are to target your own fan base. And if you don't have a fan base yet, work on building up that fan base, because those are going to be your cheapest, most quality clicks you can get.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Well, I think we have to. I know some people have to get going too here, but I think we're. Amy, I think we've got it covered.
Woo! How much fun was this?
That's
I
it.
Loved it.
I need a cold shower. This was so Amy. First of all, I mean, you rocked out with this. I want to thank everyone here that came in and joined in and asked such great questions. I've got like a page of notes in front of me now too of just good stuff, and we're going to be getting this up for you. And thank you, Amy. And this was a blast. I think we'll wrap it up for sure.
Well, thanks, David, for doing this with all of us. I really appreciate it. Everyone, thanks for being here. Keep us updated. Post on our Facebook page. Let us know about all of your big successes so we can brag about you to everybody. So thanks again for being here.
Exactly. We want to wear a button with your face on it. So let us know. I mean, implement the stuff. Go get them. We'll talk soon. See ya via email.